I am not sick, but my voice is angry at me. Anyway, I needed to wrap up on some stuff before I came online here, and now I'm just plonking the good old phone here into the holder. And of course, this is why I've started doing this off stream, is that then I can, I just locked the screen, so it's like, if I do most of this off screen, then we're good. All right, I'm a little bit later coming on today because I needed to actually order things. What did I order? Oh, I needed a vacuum part. Of all things. Okay, we're gonna go into dual camera right now because you don't need quite that wide a view of my mess. Anyway, I need to order we have a Dyson that we got gifted for our wedding. It was like the big present that a bunch of aunts and uncles, Dallas's aunts and uncles, like pitched in on. And it's been amazing. But and we've also had it for 10 years then. But we're gonna need these, the little Flynn Flon. Okay, he's got a hairball. Lovely. Fantastic. The trigger, I guess, or like the release button on the canister finally broke. That's what I'm trying to get at. Oh my goodness gracious, I'm tired. So I finally just ordered a replacement part for it because I'm like, I need my vacuum to be fixed so I can tidy up down here and vacuum everything because the floor it needs a vacuum. All right, there we go. I am 18 out of 30 classes done. Yeah, I've got my challenge going. I am 18 out of 30 classes done right now. Blah, blah, blah. Let's get someone. Just letting Dallas know because he's like, where's Flynn? And I'm like, he's down here throwing up hairballs. So, yeah. Informing him where the cat is because he's like, I hear a forlorn meow, and I'm like, yeah, that's him down here being sick. Okay, so we actually only have one more Heidi to sew here. I think this is, it needs a little bit done on the corner here, so we need to do one more Heidi, and then we're going to go in and we got to do straps. I realize that the other straps that I do actually want to add on are the little, I want to get the straps done for those little foldy accordion purse wallets that I've recently done as well. And then we need to top stitch a wallet, and then we need to install the rivets on a wallet, and then we'll be done. Awesome. We're really close. So everything's just like really close to being settled, which is exciting. Knit City Toronto is this weekend. I know there is a lot of amazing vendors that will be out at that. I will not be, but I do know that Ancient Arts is out there. And then I will be at this kimono market on Sunday from 10 till 3. And that's down at the Calgary Nikkei Center. Oh, we ran out of bobbin thread. Right, that was the last straw the other night, was I was out of a bobbin thread. All right, let's get all those threads trimmed down then. So my wild and obviously impetuous brain right now is like, all right, for this close to getting done, what else can we get finished in the next couple days? And I'm really leaning towards we should cut out and do those the cat ornaments that I set up to do earlier this year and then never actually did. I've got some fabric prepped for it, so maybe we will. Or maybe, if I'm mad and like completely impetuous, I'll sit down and I will sew some coasters. I'm not 100% sure what we're going to do, because there's realistically not a lot of actual like bag sewing left, but I did want to add a few like little grab items. So we'll see. We'll see what kind of strikes my fancy and actually how much of a struggle this ends up being to finish everything today. So, because we do need to sew the straps for the Sheena and the Heidi that we have now completed. We're going to do, or this is the Royal We. I'm going to sew the straps out of cotton webbing, and then they'll be with metal like hardware, which will look really good. There. That is, oh, I guess I should check the interior and see if it's... Did I sew the closing seam? I don't see any closing seam. Okay, there we go. I have not. So let's sew that, because that would be extremely annoying to find out that I hadn't sewed that when I get to the market. And then, so we'll lay these down and figure out how many straps I actually need to make. And then we'll also snag those little purses, like I said, the side bags for it as well. Which I just realized also need little like marker tags to say who, like maker tags. So I didn't like the gold metal tags because I found that they scratched really fast. Like basically you look at it wrong and it's scratched and scuffed. But so I was thinking about, I'm like, I wonder if the brass tags that have like a little bit of the like shading on it, basically, if they would end up being better. So I'm gonna go in and ask a couple different places, because I think that might be better. I don't know, it's worth a try, because I do really like the metal tags. Again, that elevation of the item just a little bit, right? And they're pretty. They're really, yeah, they just, I don't know, I like the look of them, but I don't like the fact that they're like scratching instantly. So I need to just find an alternative to how that might be able to get worked out without being also like an insane expense either. Yes, I do have a toque on today. It is actually quite chilly here today because it is the May long weekend. And we may have been 25 above last week, but we're down to what actual temp? Yeah, it's like 5 degrees today. Oh, it was snowing this morning. It's like, come on. I know it's the May long weekend, but it's like a laugh in the face. It hasn't frosted though, for us at least. So I haven't had to pull in any of the plants that we just planted, because that would have been a very cruel joke, because I was like, I don't want to plant the plants before the frost is done. And even planting before May long weekend is nearly a surefire way to kill all your plants. Yes, I could lift them in, but the easier thing is just not to plant them before May long. Anyway, the weather is miserable. If you're in the Calgary area, please come out to the kimono market. There's a lot of activities. Well, it's like a kimono fair more than, and then also a market. So come on out. You know you want to stay inside and dry and warm, just like I do. I gotta actually pull a hoodie out to wear for the event. I don't really feel like getting dressed up in my kimono. I know I don't have an opportunity very often to dress up in my kimono, but I just not feeling like rocking it this year. But I think I will take a hoodie. So I will not be manning the table, but I will be around all day, because I'm like, well, if anyone has any questions, I'm right here, because why not? Maybe I'll actually bring my knitting and I can knit while I do activities and have a chat with people, because that would be good too. All right, so this line here is the fold line for the actual like zipper. And by the way, I'm still like, so I ran my first marathon in January, and now I'm like, when's my next? And the next one looked like Kyoto, but the Kyoto marathon cutoff time is 6 hours. And then we're just discussing it today, and it's like, do I just flip and sign up for the thing and go run it? Because, like, so I am heavily leaning towards I will go and do Japan in November right now. But if I was going to go in February anyway, I would skip November. The big question ends up being is like, does the whole family come? Because again, if I skip the trip in November, then that is quite a bit of money towards like a family trip. Basically, me skipping in November would be all of our hotel for February in that centralized location in Kyoto too. So I'm like, oh, we should do it. I think we should just say F it and do it. I get Dallas's hesitations about it, but it's also like, let's just do it. The kids will be fine. We will be fine. And then he could run Osaka, because that's the plan. Although it sounds like they have very few, like 700 spaces for international runners for Osaka. But it sounds like it's not that difficult for people to get in. So basically it ends up being like, if it goes over the amount, they go into lottery. So Kyoto is a first come first serve marathon though. And it's kind of like, well, I'll go run. So the current plan that we haven't modified is that I would go run 26. But I'm like, ugh, I should just do it. Because realistically, I don't need to cut that. Like, I'm like, I need a 5-hour marathon to do Kyoto, but I don't really need a 5-hour marathon to do Kyoto. It's a 6-hour time limit. I did Disney in 6:45. And now that I've done a training for it, it's also not going to be at the end of a challenge. And I've got a different program to like help me actually get faster. So I don't know, maybe I'll be wild and impetuous and just go do the big scary thing. I think I should need to just go do the big scary thing. If you've been watching for a while, you know that I'm just going to keep talking about this over and over and over. And I don't need to decide right away, so that's the issue, is like I don't need to know my decision until July, so I'm just like, oh, I could do either. Although maybe I should just go in February anyway, because then they would be cheaper. I don't know. Although the Air Miles flights in November are cheaper than the Air Miles flights in November, and I'm just like, what? Or then in February, and I'm like, why? What is going on with Air? Like, that might be it. I did find out that WestJet is offering some flights, some direct flights over the winter, which is, I think, what they did. So they've partnered with JAL, which is Japan Airlines. I think what ended up happening is, I think they probably saw the numbers that JAL had last year because they were partners, and they went, it's dumb not to continue a direct service. At least for like a reduced direct service. So it's like 3 days a week, but a direct service nonetheless throughout the winter. And I'm like, yes. Because the price of the flights is like, well, okay. The price of the flights for a direct flight is like comparable to having to do non-direct or layover in Vancouver. So I'm like, we will be doing a direct if we can swing it. Plus then that lines up with all of the like extra dollars and companion vouchers and everything that we actually have on deck through our credit card points and stuff like that. Dallas earned an award. He ran a 5K on the treadmill today. So yeah, I'm like at the point now with the study. I'm like 18 classes in, which I really want to stop. It's a challenge. There's a reason why it's called a challenge. But now that I'm also like 18 classes in, I'm like, well, it's only 12 more classes until you're done. So it's the weird psychological thing. It's like, well, it's only 12 more classes. You've already done 8 classes. And here's the thing. It's my brain being like, you want to stop. Please stop. Whereas my body is like, yeah, I can keep going. So it's kind of the same as doing the marathon training and things like that. Like half the time you're not fighting your body, you're fighting your goddamn brain, because your brain's like, okay, so we need to discuss about this. Sometimes, well, a lot of the times it's my lungs being like, hello, we need to have a very strong discussion about the fact that you are like not able to breathe right now. Oh, that's not very often though. That's more of a that was like running the 5K. It was like, nope, I am done. My heart rate is too high, and if I do not take a walk break, I am not going to finish. But with 5Ks, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to go and just like redline the heart rate zone and go. So that's what I did. At least in the areas that I could. I ended up in like the walking corral, and I'm just like, that is not where I intended to be. But that was a very confusing race. So, and it was very busy too. So, whatever. The Calgary, I'm running the half of the Calgary Marathon, and I think that'll be better. I'm also very glad I didn't run the 10 on the Mother's Day run, because I'm just like, ugh, 5 was enough. Given like everything else I'm doing in spin and yoga and everything. And that actually turned out very nice and smooth. I'm very pleased with that. So we're going to sew the other panel on, and then we will do the then we'll insert the bloody-blahs. What are the bloody-blahs, you may ask? The D-ring tabs. That apparently was the word for them, was the bloody-blahs for a moment. My brain, y'all. Okay, but we are actually quite well on track right now. I'm very pleased. I am still going to keep a few of the small. So tomorrow we have some family, we got some of Dallas's friends coming out. And then we're going to do, so I'm going to do the little like kimono keychains tomorrow and stuff like that, because that's good handwork while they're here visiting. We're going to do the big stuff today. So like finishing and wrapping up on these purses and the wallets. So we're damn close with all of it. And then I think I might be wild and impetuous, and we'll do the Obi. You're like, oh, that's all you're doing is Obi stuff. Yeah, I know. But this was the specific Obi, the picture frames. That's what I was going to get at. My goodness. And I think I might also pick up some of those cats that I wanted to do ornaments from. So I think we'll do those, and I'm not really going to cut much more out. Mostly because I need to go into my cutting studio and like, everything needs a hard reset right now. I think one of the things that's really going to help is actually getting a lot of the kato finished, because they're all behind me on the desk here, and it's like they're just kind of ready to do a slow avalanche. Now that'll be the work that we do for the first week of June, in preparation for another event in Calgary on June 22nd. I think it's June 22nd. Alright, so we're going to install the zipper over here as well. If you guys have any questions, as always, please feel free to throw them in the chat. I'm happy to have my monologue directed a little bit. Yeah. Let's see here. So the current debate now is, like, if you've been watching for a while, I'm still debating if I should just go and say F it and do Kyoto Marathon or not. I'm like so tempted, because we were discussing it today, and it's like, realistically, if I'm already putting the money into going in November, why don't I just go in February? The hotel cost is significantly less. The flight prices are comparable. There's direct flights. That is like way too far down on this thing. We're going to take this out because there's like a significant seam allowance here that I don't want. I want this zipper set higher. So I'm just talking myself in circles and circles and circles and circles. I think I should just sign up for it and do it. Or at least try to sign up for it. Who knows if I would even get in, sort of thing. It is first come, first serve. So I think it's pretty easy, but... Because we did discuss it. It's like, because I was like, I want a 5-hour marathon before I go to Kyoto. But the time limit is 6 hours. So realistically, I only need to cut an hour off instead of 2 hours. Because my last marathon was 6:45. And I think I could have run it at 6:15. The 6:45 ended up coming from the fact that we had to stop for washrooms. So I need to maybe bladder train. Just pee once. Don't drink so much water. I found a really cool clip actually from the Osaka marathon of like, I don't know what kilometer it was or anything. Wonder if you could like defer it. Usually when you pay it, it's non-refundable. So it's like, once I've decided to do it, I have to do it. Now, the good thing about it is I don't have to decide till like July. So I can make this a little bit more of an informed decision based on what I do at the half in Calgary. And here's the thing, I'm gonna have like almost a full year right now. And with me being so slow, it's actually easier to make the bigger gains like this of like, I need to take 45 minutes off of my marathon time. It's like when you start getting up into the faster ones, that it's harder to like continue to drop minutes. And there's a couple big factors in it. It's like, I gotta get faster, which I know I can do. It's just consistency. I need to lose weight, so I'm not hauling so much around, and that will make me faster too. So it's like, okay, the plan I guess this summer would be, even if I don't run it, even if I decide it's like, no, Katie, you're actually crazy. If I go in and I go and do both those things, like it'll make 26 a successful year. The thing about it is that this year is actually the best year to go to Kyoto and Osaka because Lunar New Year falls earlier in the year this year. That's why the flight prices this year, when I was like doing quotes to figure out approximately how much it would be to go, were like it's a $900 difference. So I think the bigger debate even is, it's like, okay, so even if I go do the marathon, do we go and do it as like a big family trip, or do I just go do it myself? And because we would be pausing November then, and I wouldn't go in November, I'd just push it out to February, which is fair too, because it's like, if I'm already putting the money into November, like the outlay to take 4 of us, the most significant change is the actual like flight costs. And now that I found out that WestJet is doing direct flights, yeah, I think I can do it though. I think signing up for like the big bags scary is what I'm going to have to do, because otherwise it was the same as like the dopey challenge. If I didn't sign up for it, I wasn't going to do the training. If I don't sign up for the marathon, I'm not going to do the training. Granted, all training is going to like make me better, but sorry, I'm whinging about it again, but it came up in conversation today because I was like, what if we just did it? We don't have any other big plans next year. I get Dallas's hesitations about it because it is, the deal was to like chill with our finances, but it's also like, well, if we wait another year, it's going to be more expensive to go to. And also like it's also just going to be more expensive to go anyway, because apparently everything's going up. Well, except for the yen. The yen is still at a very good exchange rate. So there's that too, is that it's actually really cheap to travel in Japan right now. It's just the initial outlay of expense to get over there. But that's why I'm going to work hard on the business. We don't I wouldn't be making any decisions about going in November until August either, really. So I guess we can just wait on everything, and then I can make an informed decision. I'm just going to whinge about it until I actually like make the decision whether I'm going in November or February, basically. Because we still have property taxes to pay. Blech. Goddamn property taxes. They're so expensive right now. Okay, there we go. The seam allowance is still a little bit generous, but it is a lot more manageable than it was before. Anyway, we're doing the wrap up here on the kimono market stuff. I'm going to sew the rest of these. We're going to put the rivets into the wallets, and then we're also going, well, we're going to sit here and we're going to sew the straps, and I'm also going to put the rest of the straps, or sew the straps into those little foldy, wally pouch things. Because I want to get them rolling as well. Have you decided if you're going to go into Knit City tomorrow, Andrea, or are you going to go on Sunday? I think they actually said that they sold out the Saturday tickets, which is insane. I don't know if Vancouver's sold out for a few years, actually. And hopefully it's nice weather for y'all. We've got like a nice, glorious, traditional mix of rain and snow right now. I'm very glad we're not camping or anything. Not that we actually camp, but yeah. I'm extremely glad that we did decide not to take it up this weekend. I doubt that we would anyway. Now we're going to go in and we're going to just mark the actual seam allowance amount that I'm not supposed to stitch into. And then we'll turn it, and then we will put in the D-rings, and then we will finish it, and then we will turn it, and then we will do the finishing seam and the opening of the back zipper, and then we'll go in and top stitch the other Heidi's, and we will do the whole what was the other thing that we need to do? The wallet. And then we'll do the straps, because the black thread will already be in the machine, so we can do the straps then as well. And then rivets, yeah. And I think I might be mad and impetuous and do some of those cat ornaments, maybe. Maybe, I haven't actually decided yet. I'm actually super excited about this kimono market though, because it's like I'll actually be able to go as an attendee because they have the volunteers manning the tables. And I'm like, excellent. I can go do the actual activities that they have at the event, which is mind-blowing. All right. Oh my goodness, this is going to be a very nice one. So there it is, and then it's going to fold down like this over top of that other chunk of Obi. And then here is the back as well. Oh yeah, and we used another bobbin. The bobbin counts are very disappointing this month because we haven't actually done that much sewing. All prep work. I guess we're only like 2 weeks into the month. Well, I guess we're halfway through May, but considering that I'm taking next week off, or I'm taking next week off of the sewing at least, my bobbin numbers are still going to remain very low. Alright, so we're going to go in and we're going to top stitch this. Apparently not like that. Alright, go off, I gotcha. How did I do this before? It's still easier than the way that they want me to do it. Or, yeah. It's probably just because I have so much crap under my... Yeah, okay, there we go. I see how I'm going to do this. The brains. I did have I promise, I had a coffee before I came downstairs. But it has been a month, y'all. I am 18 out of 30 classes through my challenge. I very much want to quit. My body is fine. My body can do it. But my brain is like, so, we need to have a chat about this. I'm like, no, I know I can do it. It'll be a little bit better next week when I'm not like show prepping as well, because it's like, mostly I'm missing my kids. It's really nice when they're out of the house and things, but usually I do like bedtime and stuff with them, and I have not done actually. So we went out and we had basically family time together yesterday. Went to the pool, did all that, and then actually went out to the Canmore pool, and the Canmore pool was really nice. And then when I got home, I had class, so I went out to class. Blah 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 blah. But why the pool part was important was both the youngest and the eldest had like very long naps, especially the youngest, because they have always been low sleep needs, but then when they actually have activity like this, they like love to sleep. And so they were still awake when I got back from class, even though it was really late. And I went in to transfer the eldest because Dallas was stuck in the chair with them both. And I was like, asked the youngest, I'm like, do you want to do bedtime with mama? And the relief of just like, you're here to do my bedtime. Dallas does an amazing job with the kids, but the youngest is definitely a mama's kid. And so just like yeah, I guess maybe not relief, but just like the joy in the fact that I was going to do bedtime with them was something to see. Poor kiddo. We're all out of sync, but that's okay. Basically, me not having to do bedtime with them for the last couple weeks has been my vacation, because it's not like we're going anywhere. So, and it's allowed me to do my exercise and come downstairs and all of that. Mostly the exercise, because realistically, once I'm done exercising in the evening, I'm like, it's time for bed, or at least time for just like a wind down. No, not much else. Tonight I do not have classes, so I will be on tonight. I don't know 100% how I'm going to run this. Stella's was like, you could just stay and work, and I'll go get the kids. And I'm like, yeah, but I want to see them. So I think I will take a break for like that and dinner, and then I will restart the stream for the remainder of the stuff we're going to do. I don't even really know what we're going to do tonight, but it'll be kind of the catch and maybe the push on a few of the other random things that I'm like, hey, we should do this. I should do this. The royal we should do this. Alright, so I'm going to base that one in, just so I don't have to worry about it so much when I'm actually like folding everything out of the way. Those are aligned. Popping in. Apparently the thread got pulled out of the top needle. Lovely. Not lovely. I don't know why I lifted the presser foot. I didn't need to lift the presser foot. Yeah, I honestly think, Andrea, that at this point the question is not necessarily whether I will do it and make it. The question is whether we end up making it a family trip or if I'm just going to solo in February now. Again, none of these decisions really have to be made. Well, actually, I guess I do need to make my decision about Kyoto before August. Although I don't need to make my decision about, or we don't need to make the decision about whether it's a family trip or not until after August. Because all I would really have to book is the hotel. And I could modify that. So, I know it's insane, but I think I might be going to run it. Because why not? May as well. Not like I don't do enough other big scary things, but yeah. That would also give me an opportunity to like also start my year, get a bunch of stuff done. Airdrie would be at the beginning of the year. Airdrie would be at the beginning of the year. So I could work through some more stash. And then I could justify purchasing more cotton and cotton linen blends. I would have the kiddos' luggage allowances, so I wouldn't have to do an overweight bag. There's like $225 worth of savings right there. Tell Dallas that. There we go. I don't know how far this made the rounds, but it's girl math. The invaluable experience for the toddlers going to Japan, and actually that's not a huge joke. I do think it would be an invaluable experience for all 4 of us. But yeah, girl math. You could save my overweight bag fees, but actually that does add up to quite a bit. Well, okay, it adds up to $225, but actually I wonder what the extra bag fee for WestJet is actually like $110. This is one of the things that it was like really changed after the pandemic, because normal extra bags that fit within the weight were like $50. Whatever, not a big deal. Now they are like $100 a piece. But the overweight like extra bag is okay. It's not overweight. I pay for an extra bag is $225, which that's what it's been for like years. And then you can overweight it basically up to 70 pounds or something like that. So like for me, where the outlay of the cost of the trip is the most expensive part, it's always made sense to pay that overweight fee or extra luggage fee. You pay for an extra bag, whatever. Especially on the solo trips, because then I can like do one overweight bag. Now, if you're flying business or something like that, you end up getting 2 70-pound bags. So that's definitely a benefit as well. But we are not at the place of flying business. Although when I was looking at the, you can't use your companion vouchers through WestJet on, oh, come on. In business. You can use it in premium though. But if you look at the cash price for premium, like the difference between premium and business is like $20. I'm like, okay. So if you're already paying that upcharge, just book business. I don't know. I guess it's the companion vouchers that people are using, but I'm like, if I was paying cash, I would not be paying for economy or premium economy. I would definitely be paying for business. It's like, hell no. Let's go back just a tick. There we go. Oh, no, that's way too wide to see. Okay, come on through one more time. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to just to the inside of the basting stitch for the pocket, because that makes sense. And then I don't know why the webbing is giving me such a fight this round, but apparently it is. Okay, there we go. And of course, it caught on some sort of thread here. There we go. Okay, let me just make sure I'm not missing any chats. We're good. And I do apologize for the creaky voice. Like I said, I don't know what's up. It's done this multiple times this year. I am not sick, from what I can tell. I'm just got a creaky voice going on. It's really annoying. Because mostly in the higher pitches, and it sounds like I've, like, that's super husky. I've, like, drank a bottle of whiskey and smoked a pack of cigarettes every day for the last 15 years. Which is not true. I couldn't afford to do that for the last 15 years. Hell, I couldn't afford to do it now. Nor would I want to afford to do it, I guess would be the better description. Okay, that needs to... Seam allowances, you need to behave yourselves. You know where you're supposed to be. like, do I? Do I actually? Also, the other factor in this that I was thinking about when I was like thinking about why to do it this way, because the original thought is if I run Kyoto in 2026, I would do Victoria next year just to kind of be a check-in race, basically make sure I've got my training on where it needs to be, just kind of jazz myself up and get a faster pace, because no matter what, I will be faster than I was at Disney. But at the same time, I was like, well, Kyoto would be a really cool second marathon. Very special. And that's the thing, is I don't want to train for non-special marathons. Victoria would be like special enough because it would run right along the ocean, which is super cool. But it definitely would be Kyoto. Whinge, whinge, whinge. These are the current cat problems. What marathon can Katie run next? Oh. If you're new here, the cat problems are problems that are really coming from a place of privilege, but I hate the term first world problems, so cat problems make way more sense to me. And it's kind of a running joke. I forgot to open the zipper. Okay, no, that's the wrong way. Anyway, yeah, so if you're new here, cat problems are a problem that's really inconsequential to anyone but me. And it comes from the picture book by Jory John called Cat Problems. And the main theme of it is just this cat going around having issues in the house. And why I always think of it this way is it's because it's like the cat gets dry food in its bowl, and it's like, dry food, I want wet food. Not dry food, wet food. So it's cat problems. Oh my God. I have forgotten this zipper so many times. How have I forgotten this zipper on basically all of these Heidi's? I think I opened it up for what, one? Also, I was watching videos of the Shinkansen the other day. I think it was actually like a food video or something like that. And my eldest saw it, and they're like, I want to drink milk on the really fast train. I'm like, oh my God, that is so fucking adorable. I want to drink milk on the Shinkansen. They're actually, so I've started peppering in more like just vocab. We're not really doing any grammar or anything yet. Not that it would like slow down like the speech therapy that the eldest is doing, but simply because it's like the retention of it wasn't really there until recently, so it would be frustrating for both of us. So, but we've started doing it recently because they've started picking it up now, so that's really exciting. I'm excited for them to start learning Japanese. It's one of those situations where it's like, I don't know French, so Japanese is going to be the second language that they learn, at least for a while, because I'm able to like help them with it. Although I guess it would be a good way to learn a second language or a third language myself. Yeah, third. I'm like, can I count Japanese? Because I'm not fluent. But yeah, I can totally count Japanese even if I'm not fluent. We're all good. It's conversational level. Most days. Some days. I shouldn't say most days. Some days. Maybe. Occasionally. It is conversational level. Where is that corner? Okay, good. I was like, this interior looks very narrow. Okay, we're good. We're good. It's there. Alright. Open up the base here and see where we're at. So basically what I'm doing right now is I'm going in and I'm just ensuring that all the seams got caught and like there's no like big gaps or tears or like, yeah, that it's all like constructed at least decently. All our second seam lines are like, and our basting seams are hidden, all of that. Because it looks like, yeah, we're really good. Man, this Obi is gorgeous. All right. I'm just going to double check on the zip here, and then we will go in and do the closing seam here because that's the next step. Closing seam, and then I'll do the little bit of a bridge stitch there, and I'll just make sure that we don't need to do it on this side. No, we're good. All right. Oh man, I swear. So I went and did a spin and core class on Tuesday, and I'm pretty sure that spin teacher like wanted to kill me. Not really. That's a joke. Out to kill me. There we go. That might be the better way to phrase it. Because my core is still sore from freaking Tuesday. And you may wonder, Katie, aren't you doing a bunch of other classes that would make your core sore? Yes, but this is like very, like she did obliques, and so it's very specifically where she was working them. Am I going back and doing that exact same class again next Tuesday? You bet I am. In part because I have to. There's not a lot of other classes that I can really add that fit into the schedule. But it was a really good class. They used to do a core flow, and it was absolutely amazing. But the teachers that taught that, well, in the first one, her little one is almost 4 as well. They were born like a week before my eldest. And then the other one just had their second baby. So it's like, okay, I get why neither of you are teaching core flow right now. Anyway, it's the lady with the kiddo that is nearly the same age as my eldest, that it's her sister that tried to kill me and tried to kill us all in spinning core. It was like 30 minutes on the bike, and then you go in and you do I think it was only like 10 minutes of core on a mat in the like yoga room. And it was just like, oh my god. She had us like sit against a ball and basically crush the ball with your back, and then it was like just crunches forward, or crunches to one side, and you had to like stretch your arms out and then put your arms against your head and keep doing it. So it was like 30 crunches, and on both sides, and then you rested, and then you did it again. And then the last time she wanted you to try and do it with your feet up, and I'm just like, oh, I will do this as long as I can, Danny. I did not make it through the whole thing with my feet up because holy, it's insane. Because it's like, I am surprised how much strength I have gained or retained with kids, because obviously you're hefting around, moving around, blah 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 blah. So I've got a lot of upper body strength that is like unexpected in some ways, because not that my upper body was super weak before, but it was definitely not something that I would call strong. So I think I've regained a lot of muscle up there, but it's like the core, those babies definitely do a number on the core. All right, here we go. That is the last Heidi to sew. Everything is nicely lined up on the top here. I sound shocked. I am a little bit shocked. And then zipper in the back here, nice and hidden. Open and close. This one is lined with a nice just white lining. The interior of this one, I think, is Obi as well. Yeah, it's Obi as well. So it's a nice straight, simple interior. Those linings got set in very nicely, if I do say so myself. Now we're going to go in and we're going to swap the thread back to black, because we need to finish up the wallet and the top stitching on the other two Heidi. So yeah, let's start with the harder ones first. Not like the wallet's not hard, but I'm sorry if that pinged the mic. Not like the wallets aren't hard, but they're not as hard as this top stitching is going to be. All right, and I am also going to squish all of these under something, I don't know what, just so they get flattened down. We're going to leave the white thread in for like 2 minutes, just so I can stitch the interiors here. And then we'll move on to these for the top stitching. Also, let's just glory in this mermaid scale one again for just a moment. Now, the other issue I have is I got to figure out how much I'm going to price all of these for. So, we'll see. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Don't worry. But it's like, oh, what do I price these at? I don't think I'm going to get the Obi done for this round, just because it's like, there's a lot of interior work to do on those actually, so I think we will hold off on them, but they will be done over the summer. That's fine. I definitely want to like concentrate in on these ones here. So yeah, I guess the big thing I'm gonna have to figure out is like approximately how much the materials cost me, because that is the toughest part. And then try to like recreate how many hours this actually took me. Which, like, given that it was quite a bit of time over like multiple projects, isn't actually as bad individually as it probably should be, but it's always the scary one when you're doing like pricing schedules, is like, just how much time did you actually spend on your handmade good? Alright. So we're gonna pull this out, we're gonna fold it in here. Up, 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 up. I really like this interior. This is one of the Obi that I purchased when I had the brainwave of like, oh my goodness, lining bags with kimono is an amazing idea. I am not fully responsible for this idea. I was inspired by a creator at the temple market that I went to at Kitano, Tenmangu in Kyoto, and she had upcycled Obi bags that actually were lined with kimono. So there we go. There we go. And apparently there's some threads that are like, we are still connected, but we're connected on the interior. Okay. And let's trim this down here. Okay. That's just a loose thread, so we're good. Now let's get stuff back in, and then I gotta remember to put my rings back on. I have not worn my rings for the last couple days because I forgot to put all my rings back on when I went back upstairs on, what, Wednesday? Yeah. Okay, and we are going to actually need to iron that. I can just... Okay, we're gonna copy the same kind of style of top stitching that I've done on the other two, and just go across, do a little bit of stitch there, and then go up the other side. Yeah, I know that, but that's also terrifying. It's like probably way more than I want to actually admit. Although honestly, I haven't ended up working down here as much as I anticipated. But yes, that would be a good starting place. And it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So like if it's like 12 to 18 hours, it's an hour to an hour and a half average per bag, which isn't bad actually. It's probably more than 12 hours though. So we'll find out. Like I said, the cost with these guys is definitely more related to the actual like time input than it is even to the fiber, like material input. But I think that's the case for like any of these styles of bags, so. And obviously the wallets took less time than like the Heidi's, and the Heidi's took far less time than the Sheena. And material wise too. Oh yeah, interfacing. It's all the interfacing that has to be done. It's horrendous. Damn interfacing. Alright, we are swapping threads. We are leaving the white bobbin thread on though because it needs to finish winding that bobbin. Popping that behind because I have no, or like behind the laptop because I have no space behind me. Because like I said, it's an avalanche of kato waiting to happen. Actually, it's an avalanche of zipper spaghetti monsters waiting to happen, that's for sure. So I should actually pick them up and just move them back into the cutting studio, so that I can clear. Actually, yeah, because if I'm gonna do any of those little cat ornaments with the like freehand embroidery, I need to get back to my domestic machine, because my domestic machine is the machine that is set up to do that. And then the never-ending saga of like, how do I want to set up the studio? I'm having another brainwave for like, so I've got the shelf, yeah, over this shoulder, the square shelf with like the printer and everything here. It's useless here though, besides the printer. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to move the printer at least. And then I'm like, but I have a desk under the window over here, and it would be way more useful if I just connected the two desks. So this desk that's behind the ring light and it has the domestic machine, and then the other desk can just like do basically like a long desk but two desk tops essentially, because the Alex drawer that I have down here I could split between the two, and that could be the support for it. Not a big deal. Oh right, all right, so as soon as the white bobbin is wound, I need to do the black bobbin, because we are down to one black bobbin right now. Yeah. Okay, 1 second. Okay, bobbin in the case. Dallas was just asking if I wanted any chicken strips, because he's having lunch right now, and I'm like, nope, I'm good. Anyway, so yeah, so I'm thinking, but then the issue still becomes where does that shelf go? And I think it still it's actually a 3x4. Yeah, so I can put it on its side and like roll it out over towards the where I was planning to put the closet one, and then if I wanted to, I could always stack the closet one on top of it later. So, because I do think that the idea of making the closet a hanging space for the Obi and Kimono is going to work better than what it is right now, which is just roll them up and put them on the shelf and hope for the best. At minimum, they will actually air out better if I hang them. And it'll help it, like, all those, a lot of the creases and stuff like that, like, fall out naturally instead of me having to worry about ironing it and stuff. Alright. So this is why we aren't doing it this way. It is a pain in the butt to top stitch these Heidi this way. So now that I have learned better, we will not be doing it this way from now on. But these got constructed before I was like, let's wing this and see if I can make it work. And hey, we can make it work, so let's make it work later. Ugh, gross. This just has such a potential to mess up. And you're like, this is the last step of the bag, and if you mess it up, it's like, how do you fix it? I guess you pick out the top stitching, but yeah. Gross. Gross, gross, gross. Anyway. Yeah, so as much as I say that I'm not working next week, I will probably be doing some, like, gentle tidying of this. What? What? Why is the thread all the way back here? Yeah, I think I'm going to do some gentle reconfiguring of the studio. And the cutting studio too, actually. There's a lot of books on a bookshelf in there that, like, realistically could go in the storage room, and then I could reuse the bookshelf for, like, canvas and lining fabrics and stuff like that that needs to be there, but doesn't really have a space to live otherwise, so. All right. Let's hope that this is happier, because I really don't want to have to redo these. This is why we started with the harder one, because I was like, I don't want to start. Well, the wallet should theoretically be easier. I don't know if it will be, but we'll see. All right. What else am I going to do on my vacation? Staycation. We are going to plant sunflowers, hopefully. It is supposed to be cloudy all week, but but also with the rain, it does mean that we aren't under any frost threat either, so I think the sunflowers are just supposed to be whenever you can start working the ground. I found out sweet peas are whenever you can start working the ground. I'm like, okay. In my head, sweet peas have always been like 4 to 6 weeks before the last frost sort of thing, but apparently not. So next year, I will know better. Okay, now it sounds angry, because it is angry. Excellent. Fantastic. Why it's getting angry? We haven't had these issues with the black thread bobbins for a while, but I swear every single time I switch my black bobbin, it has problems. And yes, I've tried to like loosen the bobbin case off. I've tried to tighten it up. And it's like, it just is like, that first little bit is always cranky and gross. All right. White bobbin is nearly done. It's done enough that once we finish this, I'm going to go in and swap it to the black bobbin, even if it's not completely done winding. All right. Well, that was a fun top stitching experience. 10 out of 10, would not recommend. Some days it's like, why does it do it this way? I do not get it. But hey, it's done. We're good. Top stitching complete. But yeah, we'll definitely use it. We'll definitely be doing it the other direction, because it's just like, ugh. But pretty, 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 pretty. Pretty, pretty. So we got a lot of the plum blossoms here, and then the top of that momiji vase. Japanese maples are called momiji. And then we got that full bamboo one that I absolutely adore on the back, as well as the cosmos and a little peak of the peonies. So that is going to be a very nice, technically it's set up as a clutch. That's what the pattern actually is called, but I've put in the D-ring tab so you could do it as a crossbody bag, because I find that I like having even fancy, although I haven't done anything fancy recently, but even fancy style, I like to have my hands free. So alrighty, let's do this again. I'm gonna okay, I think it actually asks for it to be done this way, so let's try it this way and see if it's easier. It's not like it's gonna make it, no, because my bobbin thread always looks worse. So now we're gonna start it this way. Sorry, I'm just like, should I start it? The other way I could do it is I could just start it from the end that we gotta do the bridge on. There we go. I think that'll be better. And what I mean by the bridge is the stitching in between the two, like the front and the back. Alright, so supposed to swap that bobbin. Well, next time. But at least the white bobbin is as full as it's going to get now. Okay, just about there. Learned my lesson on the top stitching of the Heidi. Do it as I thought I should be doing it originally, with the modifications that we learned how to do when we winged it. Wunged it? Is it winged or wung? Like swung? Because isn't wung it? You can wung it a ball, right? Winged it? I think winged it is the better term for this situation though. When I winged it. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Does not matter. Alright. Gonna trim this one, and then we're gonna take the white bobbin off and put it in the drawer. And then the black bobbin goes on, and we gotta wind it. Apparently I'm going to put one, when I ask where my spools are, one is behind me, one is in front of me. Because there's not enough space for the spool on the other side of this either. Ooh, actually. I think that will work. So you know how I just mentioned that I could move, I was thinking of moving the desk, right? Sorry. I was then also very obviously inspired that I think what I could do is I could just do a full wall of, yes. Okay, so in my brain this works. I don't know if it'll actually work in theory because I have to measure some things. But in my brain, what works is that the sewing table stays where it stayed because, this is a really good location for the sewing table because I have a better view of the whole room, can keep an eye on the kids, better light coming into the room instead of like me staying in front of the light and blocking it from the actual sewing machine, blah, 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 blah. All the factors. I am much happier with the sewing machine over here, so it's not moving. But the stuff behind me is kind of could be in flux if I need it to be. And I think should. I can't remember where this shelf came from. I don't remember where it came from. Yeah, that does work. Okay, so what brainwaved is the fact that I was like, okay, so we're gonna move the shelf, and then I could actually put a whole like long wall of desk. But I think what I can do is I can also then move the corner desk that's over there, if there's enough space for the L, and just make it a whole desk wall behind me. And then the shelf, they've got this big shelf in front of me. That might actually be better over, well, okay. I could move the calyx, the square shelf to where the corner desk is if it works. Ugh, of course now I'm like itching to try it right now. But we gotta do the sewing. Do the sewing, Katie. I must be really bored. I think what I've done is I've hit the like end of my sewing desire, and now I'm like, all right, what's the next one? What's the next task? Anyway, I think that'll work. I gotta measure it and see if it would work. I definitely want to shuffle stuff around so that this shelf gets out of here and we get a nice long desk space, because then I can set up the domestic and the serger and the whip bin. Basically is just what it can be, and then it's like it's all in a nice row. That one. Okay, this is a very overpowering like Obi, so I'm actually really glad that it's against the neutral that was the back of the Obi, and then the back is like kapow. Also, the floral swirl that is on the front here is actually perfectly placed for it as well. We are done the sewing of the clutches. We're doing really good. Really, really good, actually. And apparently it's also giving me the space to think about how to set up the studio maybe a bit better, because then what I could do is that all the presses and everything like that could move over here too. And because I already want to move the hardware like slat things, that actually works better too, because that's like, it would make way more sense for the slat things to be over here because I use it for mostly over here with the sewing machine in some ways. All right, same issue as before. We're going to trim down all of this little bit of fray here. Not really trying to trim down the card pocket, although I'm going to do a little bit of that just so it's even. But mostly trimming down the fray so that it doesn't get like, it's not visible once it's done. Excuse me. Maybe the throat thing is like allergies, although that does not explain why I had throat things in like January, unless it was snow mold, but we also didn't have much snow in January, so I have no clue what is going on with my throat right now. All right. So, same drill as before. We center it. Oh, and we're going to trim that down too because that's ugly. That's going to get caught in the actual wallet, so we're fine. All right. Center, center, center. And basically, so I'm lining it up with the flap because the flap is the same size. And then I'm just making sure that it's centered top and bottom as best as I can get. And then we're going to fold these in as tight as we can. Tight, 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 tight. And we're going to clip them. There we go. And make sure it's in there. And it's in there. And then I'm going to turn it. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. Okay, there we go. I like how I'm like, I'm going to do the same thing. And then I totally released it. Oh, at least fabric is somewhat forgiving, so I can fix that. All right. Now we're going to put it underneath, and it is a construction length or a construction seam, but I'm doing it at a little bit larger length because it's very thick, and that causes just less. It just looks better, but it also like holds better too, or just as well as like a construction length that I would use on the interior. And this is not a super high stress area either. Oh, come on. There we go. Apparently the bobbin thread is still being cranky. I don't get it. I should probably ask someone who knows better than me, but I don't even know who to ask. Okay, now we make sure that everything got caught. It's like really close. It'll be okay. Okay. It's all caught. It is close, but it is all caught. There we go. And then what do I need to do after this? So after this, we're going to go in and do the blah-de-blah-de-blah. Like once I'm done the wallet, we're going to go in and do the straps. Yes, because these need to be riveted. But things, they need to be riveted, but that is like a different task zone. That's what I was getting for. So and honestly, that is one of the things that moving the snap press and things like that over here would help, is the fact that it's like, it's in a very different task zone right now. I love the fact that I decided that I'm probably going to do that like right after I tidy the desk up, because, you know, why would I do this before? And then I'm also going to do the tried and true method for Katie of emptying one of the bins that has a bunch of whips in it, and then I'm going to put all these Kato in the bin. And that'll help tidy everything up behind us, and it will contain it, which is the big thing. So that's something that we're going to work on doing just from the get-go out of the cutting studio, is like, and the same with like when I actually do the small box bags and stuff like that. And then if they don't get all done, the style of bag just goes back into that whip bin for later, and that's not a big deal. But then I know what's in there, and it should contain all the pieces, instead of like, I know there's webbing with D-rings on the floor right now, and it's going to be like, alrighty. And they, like, I better not have lost any sort of thing. So. Okay. There we go. Sweet. So then this one is going to have the speckle on the front. There's seam lines here, match up right here. And then I'm going to scoot it. Then I'm going to make it sure it's good and good. Close enough. Mostly I want to make sure that it's like lined up with approximately the same spot on the card pockets, because that's what's going to be more noticeable. Okay, and then that's the middle of the actual pocket. Right, because that's approximately in the middle of the wallet. This isn't quite the same size, so we're going to scoot it up this way, down a tick. That's better. Okay. So we're going to go in, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do this, and up, and back, and do not worry, this is an air erasing marker, so it will air erase eventually. Usually within a few hours, sort of thing. There we go. Ready to go. Under the needle. Under the needle. Same thing. A little bit longer for this construction, because this is a lot of layers to go through. It will still be sufficient, but it just looks better too, to be honest. There we go. And then we're going to turn it. Turn, turn, turn. Nice, long, straight away. And we're going to go one more stitch, but we're going to hand crank it just so I don't overstitch it. Turn and up. And turn and through. There we go. Sweet. All right, so this is basically done. We'll go in and do all those lines for the rivets now. And then strap time. We are cranking along. I am happy with that, because that means that I can add a little bit more work in tonight, probably. That I didn't, like, I kind of figured I'd be able to get done, but you never know until, well, okay. I knew, but I wanted to make sure that this stuff got finished first, I guess, would be the best description of it. Alrighty, here we go. So what I do here is basically I've got this folded in half. We line it up with the halfway mark of the thingamabobber. I line up the side seam here. And apparently that's going to be the actual upper one first. Air erase mark. Air marker it here. If I had it done on the other side, I could do the same, but then we're just going to flip it. And then that's going to give us the same angle. Or damn close sort of thing. There we go. Flip it and do the other side. Contemplate a nap, because my goodness. I'm like, I can sleep in tomorrow. I can't sleep in tomorrow. I have a class at like 8:45, which is like earlier than most of the classes there. I don't understand why it's so early for a Saturday. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go in and we'll shove it in and clip it. Oh man, this wallet is spectacular. I know I keep saying that, but like, I love the Japanese fabrics, but like the kimono and the obi just like take it to that next level. It's amazing. Okay, that's actually in there pretty good. Like that. Now we'll do this side. And we're going to go ding right there. We're going to come in here and do the same. There we go. And that zipper pocket is Now level? Now level. Okay, good. Okay, there we go. Spectacular. And that is what it's going to... These ones actually... So yeah, my practice from the last year really paid off because these ones have turned out a lot straighter on the edges than last year's batch. They just look really good. Really good. So these will get riveted on the sides. The pattern does call for sewing, but it's really hard to get in these, especially with this big old machine head. So instead, I follow the hack from Okla Roots of just don't rivet it. Just rivet it instead. So, all right. Let's get these all stacked up so that they also can get, I think, okay. So for the Heidi's, I'm gonna set the clip pin on them because that is heavy without being like insane. And then for the wallets, because there's 4 of them, Okla Roots said to actually do like the quilt rulers. That should be enough. But I have a twill tape here that will work for one, and a twill tape for another. And actually there's a roll of elastic down there that would probably be best for everything. And then I am going to use the quilt ruler for the very top. And then we're going to stack. There we go. As long as I can balance it, we're going to stack the white thread on top of it for now. Stay. Will you stay? No. I wonder if the iron would actually work. But it's just a precarious pile, so. Okay, quilt roller on top works though. All right, the next thing's next. We need to get the... Okay, so how many Heidi did I end up with? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? I thought there were 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 6. And then we've got the 2 Sheena. So we need to make 6 cotton webbing crossbody bags. Straps. Crossbody bags. They're all crossbody bags, Katie. And let me just remind myself how much is typically supposed to go on the... into a crossbody strap. I think it's anywhere from like 54 to 60 inches. I'm gonna fray check this one here. Oh, look at that. The pin is stuck in the lid. That's gonna be fun to like put back in. Okay. I think I was probably a little bit over generous with like the fray check on these. But you know what? Nah, you could never be too generous. Never mind. What am I talking about? That's crazy talk. Actually, February would work better too because I'm looking at a show in Edmonton that's like end of November, early December. And not going to Japan a week before that would probably be for the best. I'd have to be ready for the show like 2 weeks in advance. Okay, I am going to go grab the hardware that we're going to need for these and go visit with Dallas for a moment, and then I'll be back down and we'll do the sewing on these, and we'll do the... I might even be insane and go put away my like zippers so they're not ready to start an avalanche behind me. And the zip pulls. Actually, we'll start with all the loose pieces so that I don't need, because we're going to have to add more loose piece pins here in a moment. So be back in like 5 minutes or so. All right, I have returned. I'm just gonna take a look at something very, very quickly while I'm thinking about it, which is IKEA Calyx measurements 3x4. 43 7/8 by 57 5/8. So it would be the 44-inch direction right now, because there's definitely space around it. So there's like, so that's 45 inches over to the other top. And then if I add up I think it's the addles or something like that. Tabletops. Just one of the cheap ones. I can't remember what it is though. Linmon. That's what it is right there. So Linmon is 23 5/8. 39 3/8. Okay, so the 39 3/8, that's definitely fits within the same size, which means that there's 8.5 extra inches, which means that there is 32 inches remaining once I turn the desk. So the next one is corner desk, Bacant, that's what it is. So what did I say? 32 inches remaining. I feel like, yeah, it's a little bit too small to turn it. Oh, heads up, if anyone has been eyeing up the IKEA Bacant desk, they are currently on sale for $200 versus $400. I did not pay that much for mine. And I also I had two of them originally, and I definitely did not pay that for the second one, because the second one was secondhand. I paid like $80 for it. Actually, I might have paid $200 for the original one, but they're currently listed for like $400. So anyways, if you're looking for the Bacant, it's on very good special right now. Okay, I'm still gonna need to do like exact measurements, but that does feel like it might be then not the right size to actually go into that space, but I don't know yet. We'll find out. The other thing we're going to find out is if this webbing will actually fit through my current slider straps. Yes, it fits better than the leather does. Awesome. All right, so that's good to know. And then the other question that I had was, what is the actual typical measurement for a crossbody strap? I think it's 54 to 60 inches or 60 to 66. I can't remember. You can obviously go, I'm going to go maybe a little bit more generous with these. Crossbody strap. Lengths. How to make crossbody strap. Lengths. I swear I have to look this up every time. I should just make myself a cheat sheet. How long should strap be for a crossbody? That's the fall. How do you shorten? How do you lengthen? What length to wear? How do you measure strap length? That's for a watch. Oh, okay, perfect. How to size and sew an adjustable strap. There we go. Currently looking at the website Kaya Papaya. Okay, the adjustable strap pieces are 60 inches long, which ends up finishing about 55 inches long, because of course you've got like a bunch that you have to fold under to whatever you're doing. She's 5'2", so adjustable strap to about 45 inches length, so there's 10 plus for adjustable, which looks attractive. I don't want the bulk of two straps over my shoulder. Fair. 60-inch length should work well for most people, which is true, but for shorter, taller personnel, you may need to adjust accordingly. For small child, shorter lengths definitely suggested. And of course, an adjustable strap does not have to be used as a crossbody. I think, okay, well, let's just measure out 60 inches, because that's going to give me the best answer that I can give myself is like, just measure out a strap, Katie. I feel like I've done 64 in the past, and that's also really nice. Okay, so that's 60 inches. Oh, that feels really short. Okay, so I do have a long torso. I also have the boobage, which obviously is going to make this different too. But yeah, like even if I had, especially taking up 5 inches, that falls right to my waist, and then there is no extra available at all. So fold it up by a little bit and fold it up by a little bit. Yeah, that's not, it's like fully stretched out and barely enough room for the strap connector. So I'm going to err on the side of what happens if I add six inches. So let's make it a 66-inch strap. That is better. Okay. Now I think in the case of like leather straps and stuff like that, I will err on the shorter side simply because it's like, again, leather is like $1 per square inch, and so if it's an inch strap, for every inch you add on, it's an extra $1 plus hardware and everything like that. And then what I'll do is I will offer I'll make a few extra long ones and a few short ones, and then I'll offer, especially online, custom orders for the straps, because that feels like it's going to be the most fair. Because yeah, there's women that are taller than me, and there's women that have longer torsos. So if we just do, okay, I think actually a 64-inch strap might be the closer one to it then. 1 second. 32. Now with the webbing strap, it's a little bit nice, like it's a little bit easier to make it larger too, because it isn't as much of a time or dollar investment for anyone involved, to be honest. So okay, let's see where we're at here. Yeah, 64 inches is a nice amount, because then once you take up the actual amount for the things, sorry, that's like right on the mic right now. Let's just make it so you can't hear anything. No, I like the 66-inch length better. Okay, there we go. Decided. Okay. Ding. 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 Although I am somewhat of an exception. What does she say here? She's 5'2". She makes them 60 inches long. But 64 inches, and you could still use it as a shorter person as well. Yeah, we're going to err on the side of longer. I feel like that is the better decision. Okay. Committed. 1. So we got 1. That needs to be better fray checked. Apparently being a little bit more overzealous with my fray check the other day was the way to go. Now I guess the question is, what do I do while I'm waiting for these to dry? Because I was very angry about being put through that strap, like the slider. So we're not going to do that again until it's dry, and they do take a little bit to dry. I could and should technically rivet the wallets, or I could tidy up the desk and get ready to do some cat ornaments, or I could go get a measuring tape and measure this whole should I move the desk thing wall or not. The rivets I could do on stream, whereas the tidy up and that stuff would kind of have to happen off stream. Or at least I could leave the video on, but I wouldn't be able to wear the lav mic, so. Because it does not like to be shuffled and bumped and cranked around. Actually, oh, yeah, I'm going to cut all of these, and then we're just going to fray check the ends on all of them after I've cut them, because otherwise I'm just going to have fray check all over my hands. Also, I went upstairs and Dallas was like, yeah, the pizza dough is already rising. And I looked at the clock and I went, oh, it's already after 2. I ended up on a lot later than I thought I had. Damn it. I'm supposed to like have an early start to my day, but it was just like this morning just was like, I was so slow. And I took a nice shower. I'm blaming the shower. It was totally its fault. No, we're still on track for where we need to be today, so I'm not too worried. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. If I can get them to line up is apparently another question. It's like, this has even more of a mind of its own than the polypropylene. Yay, boo. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. There we go. And 6, and 6, and 6, and 6, and 6. Doom, 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 doom. And then actually let's do 2 more spares because I will have Kato with me on Sunday. I still need to, I need to do categories for them. But yeah, we'll do 2 more and then there is straps available for the Kato. Do one with gold and one with gunmetal fixings and then that should be good. Oh yeah, I was going to look up if I could rivet this as well. Because with the polypropylene, you can definitely rivet it. And next time I go in to do straps, that's exactly what we're going to do. Because sewing straps kind of sucks. Actually, though, even, I don't know, making straps, no matter how you do them, is kind of tedious. Because I'm like, even though I like working with the leather, even working with the leather to make straps is like, ugh. Some days there's a reason why they don't get done very often. But I should sit down and crank out some, especially for this summer. I was very gung-ho about going and getting all the hardware when I don't even have these fray checked, wasn't I? I'll probably also sew this underneath as well. Like, yeah, we will be... Can I sew it underneath? Yes, actually that's a good reason to cut these a little bit longer. So then I can sew them underneath and it'll be like... blah-de-blah-de-blah. What will it be? Oh, even like... Sorry. Knocking the camera around. It'll be even more solid. Although the fray check means that it shouldn't go anywhere because it's literally pouring like plastic on top of the cotton. Well, glue. It stinks. There we go. It's like, it's not acetone because that would be like a solvent, but it's like very chemically smelling like that. Stinky, stinky, stinky. Oh well. Very important that these straps do not unravel because that would be very disappointing for everyone involved. I found out something super disappointing. So I was like, okay, I better check in because, okay, I'm going to back this truck up a little bit. When you film in Japan, if you're going home and like posting the footage, you're supposed to blur out faces, right? My joke was that a lot of my videos look like I have a foot fetish because it's like I kept dipping it down to not catch a lot of faces because I didn't want to have to do that much work post-production. Anyway, so I was like, how does this work for live stream? Like, so how can I live stream in Japan? And apparently some bad apples have very much ruined the whole thing, and now they have basically put a full ban. What the whole thought process was I was like, well, if you're live streaming, oh well. But now they've put a full ban on it. It's like, nope, no live streaming. You better blur out those faces and all of this, because apparently there's some foreign streamers there that were being dipshits, basically. And I'm just like, oh. So now it's back to, unless you can get full permission to show people on film, just don't do it. I'm like, damn it. So there will be no live stream when I go to Toji. I will still film the experience and I will post the video afterwards, but I'm actually really sad about that because I was like, oh, this is going to be so much fun. And now it's just like, ugh. Sad. Anyway, so I'll figure out some other cool stuff. Maybe I'll do some like live streams like in the hotel room or something, like post Toji streams. I don't know, something like that. And then, yeah, I'll make sure that I've got video to the post after I get home. Although, actually, I did, because Dallas was like, well, we should stay in Hirokatashi if we go in February. And I'm like, no, let's stay down in, like, downtown Kyoto, because here's the thing. The hotel room is basically the same cost, it looks like, as far as I can tell so far. And then the, like, transit is about the same. But we will go visit Hirokatashi because, yeah, we both like Hirokata and we both want New Delhi. But I'm like, realistically, if it's, like, in November, when it's like a third of the price, no, it makes way more sense to like suck up the time difference or the time of doing that transit. But if it's comparable, even within $10 to $20 a night, there's no point in sucking up that transit time, especially with kids. Being an hour on the train to get to, like, most of our stuff would be in Kyoto, so being an hour on the train, both directions, every single day you want to go out and do something is, it's worth a little bit extra money even to just save yourself that hassle. I'm sad about the live stream though. But I will take lots and lots and lots of video, and then I will definitely make sure that I have a way to like do something while I'm there. Just gotta figure out what it is, because obviously I can't do it in a lot of public places, so. Heck, that means I can't even really like live stream a walk up Fushimi Inari because that place is busy AF. Alright, I just had to trim off more of the tip of the freight check because it seems like it's blocked up by something, but now it's just like, here, you wanted freight check, now here's some freight. Just like, blah. Alright. I don't think I've trimmed it past the blockage though either, because it's like, here, I don't know, it's acting weird. Oh well, it's still working, it's just like kind of gross. But yeah, so the video that I watched on the whole don't live stream in Japan is kind of sucks, because it's like that is some of like our favorite creators go and that's all they do. They're just live streaming. So it's like, I don't know how you're going to like, yeah, to continue some of this. It's wild. And it sucks because it's like, if people keep acting like this, and again, it's not very many people, it's just that very few, right? But if they keep acting this way, it's just, they'll just be like, well, you can't come in anymore. Or it's going to be a way more strenuous like entry process when you do go. Why can't people just behave themselves? Be cool. Be cool. It's not even really behaving yourself. It's like just common, like, general decency most of the time. So, all right. Whinge, whinge, whinge. Other people ruining my plans. Surprise. Not surprised. So I don't know. It's like I'm tapped in obviously to the Japanese community more and like what is going on there. And I'm sure it happens other places too, but it just seems like Japan attracts. I don't know. If you've got stories from elsewhere, please let me know, because I want to know that it's not just Japan that like in some ways attracts them. I'm sure there are other examples of it, but it just seems like there's a high concentration of incidents in Japan right now. Because there's even like I think I talked about this the other day, but there's like a convenience store that has like this amazing view of Mount Fuji, but they're having to ban people from going, or they're gonna build like a billboard or something like that above this freaking Lawson, because people are going to this Konbini, which is fine, except they're blocking the road and they're blocking the parking lot and they're blocking the business, and like, let alone the fact that they had to close down parts of Gion so that the geisha and Maiko can actually get to their work without getting harassed. Like, ugh. Katie is disappointed in people right now. Okay, what are our options right now? I could go in and we could do the kitty cat ornaments. These are going to take a while to dry, which I should have probably started them when I first sat down, but I wasn't even thinking about the fact that freight check took a while to dry the other day. It's also damp right now for Alberta because of the rain, so it's like it's not dry in the house, so it's not drying as fast either. I could tidy up some of Kato, or I could actually just sew some of the Kato, but I do need to get under the zipper. Oh, I know what we can do. I can do the I can do the straps for those little cell phone bags. That does mean that I still have to like turn around and actually get the desk a little bit tidied off because I don't know where they are. I think they're under this bin here. So let's just turn the camera around here and you get to stare at the back of my head for the face cam for a little bit. Sorry, not really. Yeah, so this is the disaster that is the desk right now. Oops. We can do the ultra wide and you can just gain an appreciation and horror for the whole thing. This is what I mean when it looks like it's just an avalanche of like Kato waiting to happen. So, alright, those are all the pieces that I will need for later. That is recycling, and there is a recycling bin right there. This is liquid stitch. It goes up into the tool area. These zippers can just go in the zipper drawer where they actually belong. I need to actually get my zipper drawer turned back around eventually because it is definitely not facing the direction it should. Those are all long white zippers, and they belong with the sandy colored zippers here because they're all kind of light. That is pocket pieces for the wallets for later or something. Okay, so all the white go together. You're a colorful short, so you go up top here. You're short, so it goes up top. Light, colored, light. That sounded terrible to say out loud. But alrighty. White, long colored, light, short. What else do we have here? I bet you as soon as I like actually get some of this down, we're gonna have a nice, much clearer view of everything. You're both kind of short. Light. Why are there so many zippers on the table? Oh, probably because I just picked up whatever zippers the kids had, or I had knocked out of the drawer and put them on the desk. Probably exactly what happened. Ugh. Just a heads up, I will not be able to see chat for the next few minutes while I do this. So if they do have any questions, I will answer them once we're done. Okay. What I do need to do, actually, is just turn this back. Because basically I had pulled it out when I had the sewing desk a little bit further to the west. Which worked really well because basically it's just another surface to store things on in some ways. Now it should go back into its original position if I can get it there. Come on, rollers, do not fail me now. Yeah, there we go. That has actually opened up a crap ton more space for me. Excellent. I don't know why I'm out of breath. Probably because I'm chatting at the same time that I'm trying to do something. But anyway, I like when simple changes make such a big difference. Okay, short colored zippers there. Short colored zipper, long colorful zippers. Oh, okay, that's clipped together because we got to swap out the interfacing for the lining of the large box bag. Extremely random to remember, 100%. Can I keep my head straight on? Hell no. But I can remember that apparently. Did take a second though. Like, what was this here? I thought it was a piece for a Kato, but no, apparently not. Alright, so here is the prototype for the accordion needle pouch that will be coming later this year. A couple of the changes I'm going to make though is that the interior pockets here are going to be made all from one fabric, and then it's just going to be the Japanese fabric on the exterior, which will make the product cheaper. That's actually the main thing. It'll also mean that these seams will be still obviously good, but they don't have to be quite so exacting. So they'll match up a little bit better. I gotta figure out how I attach it so that it's all good. But I think the last one I did only had 2 pockets, and I think what it is I just need more pockets. But anyway, this is the idea that I had. We'll do the accordion pouch like this for the circular needles, and this one will get sold as like a sample because it's not like, yeah. Anyway, all the interior pockets though will be the same, probably match the actual like lining piece, and then the exterior will be the Japanese fabric. In part, like I say, to cut down on cost for everyone, and in part to just make it look cleaner when it's actually finished, because it's really difficult to get those seam lines lined up for me. Okay, where are we at? I see my sewing machine, so that's a nice good step. What I want to see is the you kind of have to live up there for now, but what I want to see is those cell phone wallet things. The water for the iron can go back on the cart for now. There we go. This paper is for the tabs or the tags for the belly bands for the planner pouches. So yes, I'm throwing it on the floor, but it is actually going over towards the cricket, which is living over there right now. All right, what else do we have here? We've got some ribbon for drawstring bags that haven't been made yet. I also have found apparently the roll of ribbon. This is going to be cut up and made into another planner pouch because I had to cut the... Hey, there's some Kato pockets. Excellent. Excuse me. I'm going to grab this bin, and this is going to hold some of the random little things that I'm like, kind of need to be here, but not exactly right here. Hey, here's some stuff from like my last trip. Okay. These are stationary, and I do have a stationary bin over there. So for now, I'm going to throw them in with the ribbon, along with the beads and the bobby pin. Like I said, random stuff. And you're like, Katie, I really hope that fray check dries soon. I do too. I don't want to do this. Hey, I found the other 1x6 ruler though. Excellent. Now I've got 2. Okay, that is to pair up with a bag. That is done. We're good. We're good. Like that looked like a loose thread, but no, it's just thread trim. So I'm gonna pop that with the wallets. And that is a really old handle that I no longer have the bag for, so we're going to make it into a bookmark. These are scraps from my friend because I don't really have much use for them. That is something that I'm going to keep for myself. These could... I'm not making coaster out of kimono. I guess that's the other thing I could do. Oh, right. That's actually what I discussed that I could do, is make little coaster packs from scraps. And we could actually do that today because I have the batting. A Vogue Knitting Live bag my friend brought back for me from 2020. She swears she's pretty sure she actually... So she was in New York City in January of 2020. And she's pretty sure she caught COVID while she was there, because like just the description of it afterwards was like spot on. Which, oh, I can't even begin to imagine. Like when you first are like, yeah. Anyway, I have a bag from that event, which is kind of hilarious and kind of terrifying, to be honest. Okay, these are soup bowl cozies. That would have actually been another fun one to concentrate on, but here we are. I will get more of these done. They were super cute. I just, like with most of the projects recently, have ran out of time, basically. Okay, scraps, scraps, scraps. Failed prototype. Not totally failed, but failed enough that we're not going to do it that way again. Scraps from my friend. And if you're like, Katie, you've got bins for that? Yes, I do, but I don't have them here right now because I wasn't smart enough to go get them. Messed up belly bands. Recycling. Snacks. Snacks are very important. It gets to live there. Okay, so that is a large enough piece. This can definitely be used for like bookmarks from the Obi and stuff like that in the kimono. And stuff. Really, so that'll get, I'm gonna fold it up and it's just gonna go on the cutting table for now. Yeah, I know I could cut it off, but we're not going to. There we go. It can actually go in here. More scraps that I will set aside for me and then maybe never use, who knows. That is old interfacing, but I also have some old bags to finish. So let's just tuck it there. My toque, we'll put the toque back on just so it's out of the way. Hello, massive piece of leather. I don't know why you're living there, but we will pop you over here because that's where you should be, is with the other leather pieces. 20 to 3 already, okay. And then these are a bunch of notions pouches and more cake cozies. So they're nearly done, I would count those as. That's a scrap for there. This is one of the drawstring bags that we haven't gotten finished yet. And actually, while we've got the dark stitching or dark thread on, I'll finish off those 3 cake cozies. I am no longer doing them in those cotton linen blend fabrics because I find that they're too thick for the elastic to be very happy to go through. A bunch of pouches that realistically, if I sit down, I could actually finish. Oh, hello. No, we're going to keep this one out because this is one of the, so the cats here are one of the ones that I have the Sheena cut out of already, but I have misplaced the connectors. So we're going to keep that for now. Okay, but the rest of them can totally become the actual, what they are intended to be, which is notions pouches. Sweet. And I'm going to throw the pattern pieces in here as well because this is apparently going to be the destination cutting room bin. Even with the, well, we'll take the stuff out, so that needs to be done there. And then I'll move the stationery back out this direction. Okay, there's the 2 Sheenas. Here is some more black stitching. Okay, so the Scotty dogs can get finished as well. That is actually a grime guard, but it needs white thread, and I have another stack of grime guards down here. I did here. Okay, so here's one of the cell phone pouches, and I did find it's back in the cutting studio. So I will go see if I can actually find it here in a minute. I have no clue what this is for. It's just randomly here, so it's going to go back in the cutting studio. The zippers actually can all go back in the cutting studio as well. A nice piece of kimono. That, it feels like that is definitely old interfacing. Oh, actually, if that's old interfacing and that purple tab, I wonder which way I was needed to do the interfacing change. If it was from new to old? No, old to new. Okay. Okay, so these will keep for like bookmarks. This is old, non-fusible, so that is actually also good for bookmarks too because it is on such a small scale. That really doesn't matter. And then I've got a bunch here actually that are set up for small box bags that have interfacing that matches, so we may as well use it. So there's one of the older, I did a club with Caroline with this fabric. And we've got a couple of the tuxedo cats as well. So we'll just keep all of that together. Some nice small box bags to wrap up already. I'm going to put, this is kind of more or less like a whip bin here. Oh, it's behind my webcam or behind my face. So there is a blue bin here, one of those IKEA Drona bins that they just went into. And then this interfacing is going to go back into the cutting studio for bookmarks. And then you look like you were probably ready for drawstring bags. Let's just go with drawstring bags. I'm not going to do a long debate on that one. Okay. Now it's at the point of the spaghetti monsters. So lots of these are short enough that I'm going to go in. I'm going to wind them because I don't know what else to do. I did call one of the electrical companies and I was like, hey, so can I get some spools from you? And she did say that they do typically just throw them out because I was like, if you pay a deposit on them, like I'm happy to discuss paying for them because realistically it is going to be the best solution for me. But I haven't heard anything back yet. She's like, I'll try and get the guys to save some. Like, this is going to be a really strange question. I'm sorry. Let's start your day out with a random question. I'll probably be like 6 months and I'll randomly suddenly hear from her and I'll be like, yes, please, I will totally take those. Okay, I am not going to do this with all of these because apparently releasing the beast and trying to rewind it is extremely time consuming. So it's so like twisty. And because I haven't got the end off the floor yet, it can't untwist. Come on, end. There we go. There's so much of you left to wind. Damn it. Okay, there we go. So all I'm going to do with the rest of these then is I'm just going to pick up this whole mess and I'm going to throw it carelessly on my cutting table because this is on brand and we will deal with it later. But at least it's off my sewing desk. Okay, I'm going to leave an end out though. That end or this end? This end, because I can pull that end a little bit easier. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wrap that around. And then I've got a like back of door shoe thing in my cutting studio that all of this will go into. So I am going to lift this up. I'm going to disappear for a moment. I'm going to see if I can find the polar bear and then I'll be back. And then we'll check the straps here and see if they're ready to go or not. I am back, but I am going to mute my mic just so I can like chomp down on my snack. Oh, not starting soon. Live scene. Okay, yeah. Chow down time, and then we'll get into the actual like continuing here. I did find the outer body of the polar bears, so we'll at least be able to get this one done. But yeah, I'm just not gonna crunch on screen. All right, so obviously a big chunk of what the desk is actually taken up by was the whip bin, which is now on the chair. This is why it always takes me so much time to like tidy up, because it's just like there's so much. I just need to be more diligent about doing it more often. As I lose the microphone. But yeah, that's really the only answer I have is do it more often. Clear out your whips, Katie. Actually, no, I don't want to just move the bin. I want to move the whole chair for a couple minutes here. Now, I still am missing the exterior to the cats that I wanted to finish up, but I've got the dogs, I've got Sassy Cats, and I've got the polar bear. So if nothing else, we have a few of those little cell phone bags to take on Sunday. I did find the bag that matches this handle, so we're going to keep this as a handle for now rather than a bookmark. And actually that is something we could wrap up on and have available for this weekend is some bookmarks. Not the square bookmarks, but like long bookmarks. This I really like, but I'm not quite ready to release yet, so we're just going to keep it here for like the prototype. And I am still debating. So this will be very similar to what I actually end up doing for a embroidery and cross stitch bag. In the case of like the background will be Japanese fabric, and then there'll be a vinyl front. And actually with the way this one is constructed, I think I'll just hack it and make it larger, because I really do like how it's here, and I prefer it without like the frame as well. And then with the embroidery bags, maybe I will go a bit fancier and do like, actually we'll still do this top zipper as well, and then an interior pocket on the back so that you have somewhere to put like a bunch of your little tools and everything like that. These are the ones that we'll experiment with to get some kitty cats done, hopefully. And if that doesn't happen tonight, then it'll happen over the next few weeks now that we're like working through. This is the prototype that I'm not happy with that bag, so it's going to go to my daughter because she will adore it, and I do really like it myself, but it is definitely not, it's like that zipper, folks, is horrendous, but it is super cute, so something to be added into the mix later. It's holding up really well though, so that's kind of nice too, because it's kind of been just floating around on the desk back here for the past little bit. Alright, those are things, grime guards, and another cake cozy. Leftover interfacing, so that is going to go into the sewing studio or the cutting studio at some point for those other things, bookmarks and such. And then here is, I also found the handle for this one, so we'll keep that as a box bag for now. It'll go into the nearly done pile just because then I don't continually pick it up. This, I need to do something with the something. Oh yeah, the base needs to be fixed. And then this one actually ended up with an unraveling handle. So those two need to be fixed. And then I have, for some reason, a piece of twill in us. Oh, the kids were probably playing with it. And they put the clip on the twill. That would make sense. Here is the old style of drawstring bag. We're going to rectify that and make it into the like reversible drawstring bag. Here is a bunch of interfacing. Very large cuts of interfacing. Actually, that would be good for some of the large box bags because I would have some for the handles too. Okay. Done. Done. And then an organza bag for some reason. I'm not 100% sure why. I do not know why that's here. I don't use organza bags. Apparently, I must have bought something that was in it, but get back there. Stay. There, it looks like that is the handle for that Sakura bag. And honestly, I could hack up one of those pieces and make it from that. So there we go. The sloths are over there for some reason. Right, because they're missing their drawstrings, which I think I saw the other day when I was actually in the cutting studio. This is an old style cake cozy and it just needs elastic, so we can finish that still. Yes, I know I'm supposed to be sewing, but honestly, if I have the wherewithal to deal with some of this stuff, it's good to capitalize on that. I do have some of these ready to actually do bookmarks with. They're going to get a little piece of twill tape at either end, or one end at least. You stay up there because you got to go with the domestic. And then there's the special feet that we are going to need for the domestic. What are you? You are a Cricut pen. Okay, 1 and 2 for the feetsies. That is a long zipper. And there's another long zipper on the floor, so let's put those away. I am definitely not going to need to buy long zippers for a while. Or at least not, zipper tape in dark colors for a while, that's for sure. There's the twill tape that we'll need to do some of these most of these bookmarks in. These are all dark and long zippers. They can go here. Short, colorful zippers in there. Scraps for stuff. Scraps for stuff. Scraps for stuff. Why? I don't know. Just get off of here. There is a piece that can be used for a handle. Right there. And then an old zipper cut. And then the Kato, which, yeah. There's my grandpa's painting, which I should actually put up a little bit higher so that the kiddos and the cats can't destroy it. I would be very sad and upset about that. Actually, it's just going to go up here for now. I had it out because someone was like, don't sign the front of your work. And then I was like, wait, did Grandpa sign the front of this painting that I have from him? And now I'm like, always sign the front of your work. Because here's the thing. My grandma, as most of the time, always signed the birthday cards and everything like that. And I don't have any writing from my grandpa except for that. So, pretty treasured, to be honest. Okay, these are the ribbons that we'll be using for the drawstring bags. I'm going to keep them out here on the shelf, I think. I don't know, that's what I'm thinking right now. If we go and reorg everything, it's just going to be a free-for-all, so we'll see what happens. I am definitely measuring this wall after tonight. Or today. I should get Dallas to bring me a tape measure just to do it with right away. Because otherwise it's going to like eat into my brain space while we're finishing off these other ones. Anyway, we have actually found the things that I want to finish. So realistically, I don't need to do more here. And I could pick up, actually I'll pick up the, I'll pick up the bookmarks that I know have fallen over. But my lav mic is like, no you're not. Okay, let's just make these tidier, and then, which just means basically stacking them in the corner better, but you know, they'll still be tidier. That is actually for that down there, because I'm going to return them probably. The little cricket shouldn't even be here. It needs to go over on the shelf over here. And that is recyclable. And these are just gonna go into the corner, just so they're less likely to like fall down basically. And then I'm going to do, oh yeah, there we go. There is the felt backing for these guys. There we go. Good. I don't know why this is here. There is a little Shiba bookmark that needs some TLC before it can be finished, but actually we'll put that into the whip bin because it's nearly done. It's not, but it needs some TLC, so that makes more sense. Up and some knitting needles. Excellent. I like knitting needles. Put those on the shelf here because that's probably the best place for them right now. That is for our super secret project. Which is good because I actually was wondering where those were the other day. Okay, that is close enough to being done. Then we're going to throw it on there. And then these. And this dog just needs its key fob holder. Strawberries. Scraps, 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 scraps. Project that isn't going to go anywhere today. Double-sided tape, or not double-sided tape, fold over elastic. Recycling. Elastic. Actually, these are all good pieces because I got a couple crunchies. Scrunchies that could be finished then as well. Into the corner with you. Crunchies. Jesus. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. I can at least work around, and then like I said, I already found what I was looking for anyway, and then also some other stuff that I wasn't looking for, but we can use. Q-tips are here for a reason because I was using them to like clean up some of the glue for the bloody blahs for the Kato when it was like spilling over from the what was it spilling over from? Whatever it was spilling over from, I don't even remember. Oh, and it spills out from like where the label goes on the Kato bags. There we go. I knew I'd get there eventually. Just takes a while some days. And some days more than others. That is good scraps for stuff. What can I use? What do I send away? What can I use? One for you, one for me. One for everyone else, one for me. That's garbage. That can just go in there for now. Those are all scraps. Scraps that I can't use. What's wrong with you? The top. Okay, so that needs some TLC. Scraps I can't use. And then scraps I will use. Okay, sweet. We are at a point where I can pull that machine out and work from it actively. Except for this Kato. And I don't know what you're doing here at all. Oh, you're going to be a drawstring bag eventually. And that is a fusible interfacing. Okay, I'm going to snag all of the ones that are intended for bookmarks. And then Because at this point, if it hasn't been made into what it was intended for, it just needs to move out, basically. And then if I find the fabric later, which may or may not happen, I'm pretty sure most of these have been made up. Or like, yeah, something. Whatever. SOL, basically. They don't become bags. They become, they don't become small box bags or large box bags. They become the drawstring bags, which is perfectly fine. Except for this frog one. This frog one I know for sure has a large box bag attached to it. I think it's in that box. Those there. Those there. You are not active, so you go there. You're also not active. You need to go in the drawer, because the drawer is where you're meant to be. The light, the wallets, and those are all fairly flattened out, which is nice. And then another dark twill, and then I will unclip here. I'll mute, unclip, and we'll grab the other bookmarks, and then we'll move on to actually sewing, actively sewing again, because I think the freight check should be dry by now. It's tacky, so maybe we'll work on a couple of the other things first, and then we'll move on to it. All right, we have completed the current side quest. All of this stuff that needs light top stitching I'm going to ignore, and we're going to put back onto the almost finished bin, because I probably will not swap, well, I'm not going to swap the thread again right now. We are going to finish up the 2 scrunchies that are right here, because realistically all they need is elastic, turning, and a seam. This guy will just need a key fob, so I'm going to put him, I don't know why it's gendered him, but apparently it is. I'm going to put them up top here. And then we've got the puppy dog cell phone pouch. These will need snaps. That's all they really need at this point, and they're after the strap. And then we've got the sassy cat one. And then underneath the Sheena, we have the polar bear that needs to be completed. So I'll have to go in and remember how to actually complete this. And then we've got the old style, or no, this is the newer style cake cozy. And it needs dark top stitching. And then these 3 just need elastic in them as well. Now, if these ones don't get finished, I'm not too worried about it. I'm actually just going to shuffle them back onto the nearly finished as well, because realistically, they are not, this is not the market for them. Scrunchies are. Okay, so that was an epic side quest to only determine that we've found 1 more and no more than that. All right, let's put through the elastic. I do not have a bodkin or anything with me here right now, but I do have the point turners. I'm just going to put the point turner in the middle here. And then I'm going to put the elastic in, and we're just going to drop it through that way. And actually, I got to make sure that, well, okay. I can make sure that this is the right length after because it's definitely too long. Yeah, it's too long. Okay. Let's see. Oh no, that's the right length. That's like half of the length of the scrunchie. Okay, sweet. Oh, sorry. Totally doing this off screen. I did not intend to do it that way. There we go. Yeah. There we go. But hey, the desk is actually like somewhat tidy, and I know what's on there, so it'll be easier to tackle to like actually sew the stuff down. And like I said, the majority of it is Kato. And then there's that bin of like nearly done, and then there's this big old stack of what's intended to become those things, bookmarks. And like long bookmarks, not square bookmarks. There. 1 scrunchie done. And then I'll do the other one. And then we'll do the top stitching, and I'll look up how I'm supposed to assemble. Oh, that's what the polar bear is missing, is it's actually missing a lining piece. And if you've been watching for a while, you know that I do not currently really have lining fabric. All right, so it's gonna have to wait until I get that, but we can still I'll still finish off the black cat then, and the dog one. Whoop-de-doo, a whole 2 cell phone bags done. Hey, but they're done. Just kind of funny. Should have really considered having a nap today. It's already 3:15. Why is it that it's like I have done so much and yet, like, okay, how long have I been on? Almost 2:40. Gotten a lot done, but it's like one of those situations where it's like, where did the time go? I hadn't, this morning flew by. I don't know why I was on so late, to be honest. It's like, alrighty. I guess that's a thing today, but okay. Okay, there's the scrunchies done. So yeah, this needs a lining piece, because then what happens is it gets, right, that's part of why it was in the cutting studios, because I needed to cut another lining piece. Oh well, okay. We'll fix that later. So we have 2 to finish. So this one is going to be a fixed crossbody bag. Apparently I have not singed the end off of the webbing here at all, so we're going to melt that down first here. Yeah, I can do it that way. I'm like, wait, can I do it that way? And I'm going to do it the little bit longer one as well. This 64-inch total. And then we've got the ability to make it a little bit like, yeah. I don't know where I was going there, but it's going somewhere that I forgot. Whatever. We'll get them done. Actually, this would be, these could be really fun for those Obi that don't fit into like the sizes that I have patterns for. Like the butterflies and a couple of little like really skinny ones. And yes, I would typically use my heat knife, but we're cutting 2 straps, so I'm not going to go warm up my heat knife and have the worry of the heat knife like burning my house down. What keeps Katie up at night? Her heat knife. I think that's fair. And the iron sometimes too. I've never come down to either of those being on. I have come down to the sewing machine still being on though, so I'm like, okay. Still have to be extra vigilant. Okay. Now the question becomes, all right, its hardware is over there. I'm going to go grab the little slider bars for these. 1 second. Okay. Clips. Clips, clips, clips. Clips, 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 clips. Now the Sheena can go back here because they're going to get wrapped up on tonight. Oh. Maybe I should take Dallas up on the offer that he just goes picks up the kids tonight. But I still need a break for dinner. So I'm like, no, I should go see my kiddos. That'll make them happy. Make me happy too. Okay. So I want the straps are going to be permanently set in. So I want this, yeah, okay. I want it to be like this then, because then it's going to be towards the body, okay? And then we'll put in the, okay, and then there's the adjustable slider, because they are going to be adjustable. I'm not going to be cruel. They're going to be adjustable. Okay, and then it's going to go through the other square ring like that, and then it's going to come up Right? Yeah, that's right. So far. It's going to come up and go through here. Okay, I just want to make, since it is a permaset, I want to make sure that it's like the right direction. I've never had an upside down strap, but I don't want to start now. Especially because picking the stitching out on this would be a nightmare. A very, very, very bad nightmare. I just remembered the fountain at Kyoto Station and how much of a delight the kids would take in that. I'm restless. I think that's the big thing too, is I'm just like, you're like, Katie, you are doing so much. I know, but I'm restless. It's stuff I want to be doing, but it's also like not stuff I want to be doing. It's like not the sewing part, just everything else. I think life is getting me down right now. Right? And then that becomes, yes, we've done it. So on the 64 inch then, so I'm a 42-inch, 44-inch bust, somewhere in there. And then I am a 19-inch torso, so that actually like a fairly long torso. Well, or at least like armpit to hip. So on this, with it fully stretched out, it hits me at hip height, more or less. I guess if I actually turn the camera, you'd be able to see it better. That's my hip. Nice little jiggle dance. Sorry. And then I kick the camera. But obviously we can also shorten it down really, 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 really far down. I usually try and like debut items with more, but honest to God, we're just going to get these out the door as fast as we can. Especially since they've been staying around since what, January? I'm pretty sure you know Andrea. And I don't mean that sarcastically, sorry, but I know you've been trying to keep me on track. Anyway, but it makes a super cute little like shoulder bag too. It's very short. So yeah, that would sit. Well, it still sits at waist length on me. So I wonder if that's a bit too long. But it's a nice comfortable level, and then you can just reach down, open it up, and get your stuff out. Yeah, we're good. I'm going to stick with that. Anyway, yeah, I think these have been hanging around since like January, February, so let's get them done. Yeah, it's a good height. Also, I love this Sassy Cat one because it's like lined up so well. Basically, there's little Sassy Cats right there underneath as well. And then the flap turned out really, 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 really good. And then the back is too. So you got lots of little black cats all over this one. Okay, I'm going to do the next one, and then so that I can just chain piece the finishing. This needs some singeing done. Also, so of course the kids, we went to Disney obviously in January, and so we went up to Dawson. I forgot about this story until just today. And they were like, yeah, we're going to a hotel, and they're like, are we going to the castle? Because that's how we've been referring to Disney for like months, because they might have caught me looking at Tokyo Disneyland's Halloween celebrations. I don't even know why I was on the Tokyo Disneyland site, but yeah. So we'd had to tell them that we were going, and so for months they were like, castle, 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 castle. And then driving up to Dawson, they're like, oh, we're going to go stay in a hotel. Does that mean we get to see castle? And it's like, no, and it's not quite that fancy this time, guys. I'm like, oh no. We've spoiled the children. They're ridiculously excited to go stay in a hotel though. So I'm like, well, at least that's good. I don't know, maybe more relaxed when we're at like the vibes are more relaxed when we're in hotels or something like that. I don't know. I think it's also, yeah, probably actually, because they'd be able to get so much. Basically, travel is like unlimited. I was gonna say it's unlimited screen time, but like when you're at Disney, it's not, because, yeah. But at least they have like very positive. There we go. That's what I like about it. They have positive connotations with travel right now, which is amazing. Although it was hilarious Are we going to see the castle? No, not this time. Trust us. I enjoyed doing Dawson. But if I had a choice between Dawson and Disney, I would 100% be going to Disney. And yes, if we go to Japan with the kids, we will be going to Tokyo Disneyland Resort because their Disneyland blows even like both the US options out of the water 100% and is, yeah. It's also at a much better exchange rate right now. Oh, okay. No, that is tangled. Or it's like twisted. No, it's not. I can't tell. I think it is. Is it? Okay, so this is something that I don't have to worry about when there's actual like hooks involved. But finding 1/2-inch hardware is practically impossible. Okay, no, that is not twisted. Actually, I would be able to find 1/2-inch hardware in Japan, so maybe I'll take a look when I'm there. But the issue is then it's like, how much do I bring home? I guess just whatever I can fit, sort of thing. I'll have to do a deeper dive after now seeing just how difficult these might become if I have to do them in any sort of quantity. That's what I should have my kids doing when they want to help, is like threading all of these. Because my eldest is like, if they're home from school, they're always asking to help. And yeah, I just realized I didn't really measure the other one. Oh, I did measure the other end of this though, at least. Goodbye, clip. Actually, no, because I can actually see you now. I didn't even tidy up the floor, but like just, yeah, I don't know why I'm able to see it better. Always shuffled stuff out of the way when I was like, nope, not the ruler. Okay, there we go. So there's the straps in here for the cell phone bag. And here is the notions pouches if we get to them. I'm going to say no. We're going to work on the bookmarks instead. Notions pouches can go back there in the back, and I think we're at the point where I can actually make these other straps now. Did you know if you tap wet stuff on your face, you can usually tell if it's wet or not better? I learned that trick with my UK roommate when we were testing out like the dryness of laundry, because in Japan they don't use dryers. They have dryers available, but they are terrible. So it was always better to just air dry everything, which honestly I would prefer to be doing in Cochrane too, but well, I can't tell anymore because it was like they used to not allow the things, clotheslines, and now it sounds like they allow clotheslines, but the issue with Cochrane is that it's so windy most of the time that even if you do put it outside, it's just going to get dusty. And then I also heard the fact that like the sun is really strong here, which can lead to like damaging the clothes as well. So it's like, oh, well, that's not cool. I guess technically we could do like inside drying still, like you just throw it on like a little something and dry it too, so that could always work. It's one of the cool things. So what, they don't have dryers in Japan, like heat dryers, I guess, but really not like we think of them. But what they do is that their washrooms have a like dry setting, so you can hang your clothes up in there and basically you run the fan and it dries them that way, or at least like speeds up the process quite a bit, which I'm like, oh, I wonder if I could just do that with our current like fan, to be honest. All right, so the point of these itty bitty bags is that they are for like a cell phone and like a couple essential things like your license and or whatever sort of idea. They are not meant for like huge amounts of stuff. What I was actually intending when I started them is that they are intended for market goers, as in vendors, because then you can put the payment terminal and phone, and like honestly you probably could put some cash in here and you would just like it's a little mobile checkout bag basically is what I was intending it for specifically, because I tend to wear dresses to a lot of events, and most of my dresses don't have pockets, and the one that does is no longer show appropriate because everything up here has gotten larger. As though they're just kind of on display in that dress that has pockets. So that doesn't fly anymore. They will get a snap, but basically, yeah, this pocket in here is large enough. I've got the iPhone 14 Pro, and it fits in this pocket. I'm sure the larger ones and like the Samsungs would fit in the back here. Payment terminal, I'm thinking a little bit of cash in there would not go awry. And it's just super cute. And then you got like a nice little waist bag to hold it all in. And that's why the straps are also permanent, is that it's not really meant, like I said, to carry a lot of heavy things. It's mostly intended for those small things. But anyway, we are officially done. Oh no, we're not, because I gotta put a snap in it. No, we're not. I was gonna be like, we're officially done the first strap, or the first thing, market thing, but no. That's okay. We'll set up the rivet press after this and get all the rivet press things done here, and then that's part of why I wanted to actually clear off this desk behind me, is because then we can use that for that. Once all these straps are done, that'll be actually a good chunk of it. So, like the webbing straps behind or beside me. Okay, trim all those little threads down. That one is far worse, so I'm going to actually take the lighter in. Have to be very careful with this one because it's like polypropylene as well, so it's just like everything will melt if you're not careful. All right. Dallas was asking us, like, if we go to with the kids, are we going to like to Japan? Are we gonna like hop on the train and go south right away? And I'm just like, no, we are not doing 10 hours flying and then trying to wrangle them through the airport and then trying to get on another like 2.5 hour flight train with children. And he's like, oh yeah, and I don't want to go in the dark anyway. And I'm like, exactly. I'm going to tack that down one more time just so it's like right at the very edge of the, there's no like little flappy flap. I'll double check that on the other one and make sure there's enough flappy flap on that one too. But mostly it's for my sanity. I do not want to go on another 2.5 hour train ride with children after a 12-hour flight. If it was a flight and that was like the way to do it and get us there cheaper, we would deal. But no. If I have an option, I would much also rather do the train anyway. So it is amazing because it's actually looking at the cost of the flights typically versus the cost of the trains. It is like comparable or typically cheaper and the same amount of time to take the train from Tokyo to Osaka, especially if you factor in the fact that you would need to come in and do like security and everything like that, and then like wait around to get on the flight and things. So as a heads up. But yeah, so I told him, I'm like, even if we don't like go into Tokyo completely, there we go, it just needs its snap too. So it'll get a plastic snap. It's going to get a black plastic snap right here. The dog one will get the gray plastic snap. Yeah, I said even if we don't go into Tokyo and we stay at like a hotel at Narita or something like that, and then just do everything the next day, like that would probably be the best way to do it. And then I think probably do Tokyo at the end of the trip because we would need to come back in for our flights out anyway. Again, these are all just kind of looking. They're not booking right now. It's the wandering. If you're looking to make a trip to Japan, definitely hit me up for any guidance or anything like that. There are multiple different ways to do it. So we're just trying to figure out the logistics of doing it with children this time, which is going to be very interesting. So, and we have pretty decent travelers, at least. I don't know what like 10 hours on a plane is going to look like, but I think we'll do fine. They'll be, I think I finally got some games on their iPads where it's not just that they watch Netflix. That's a lot of Netflix. And we did survive the 5-hour flight down to Orlando and back. There we go. All right, there's official things done. We've got scrunchies finished for the weekend. Everything's just going to come to a conclusion very rapidly as we wrap up on these straps and stuff, like I said. And then the only thing that will really be left is riveting and putting in the snaps for the stuff. Okay. I'm going to start sewing the snaps with their hardware. These are going to be far easier. I've got enough for every single Heidi and Sheena, and then I added in a couple for like extra, basically whoever wants to buy some extras or like would like to add a strap to a Kato or something like that. Okay, we are going to match these to the bags. So I guess I should actually reveal the bags. If you're just joining me, we have completed a bunch of large and small Heidi bags. The smaller Heidi bags are supposed to be wristlets. The larger ones are supposed to be clutches. I like hands-free, so I have added the option of being able to use these with a crossbody strap. Same as what I did with the Kato as well. So in this case, it's going to be a set of gold swivel hooks with a gold adjuster slide. One. In this case, it's going to be gunmetal, because I don't have matte black, but I do have gunmetal stuff. Okay, so this is technically bronze, I can't remember what they actually call it, but we'll do it with the gold as well, because the gold hardware will be the closest match that I have. The iridescent is going to go best with the gunmetal, which actually will look good with the mermaid anyway. This is going to look very nice with the gunmetal as well. And then the final rainbow one here will be gold and gold and garbage. Excellent. There, gold and gold. And then we're going to do one more set of gold with their gunmetal for one of the spares, and we'll do one with gold for the spares. Just because that makes sense to me to do it that way, I think. Okay. Good enough. So I think we'll sew the spares first, and then we'll go through and do the bag ones. I always forget how long straps take to make, actually. That's why, like I said, they don't get done very often. I should make them more often, but again, it's one of those spare time things, right? So now we are using the middle with these because, again, we're doing a little bit of an elevation versus the webbing straps. The polypropylene webbing straps are very much a entry level. There we go. And so the materials of it are polypropylene and plastic, and they are the cheapest option to make and to purchase then as well. These, given that they're going on to Obi bags, I want to elevate a bit by using the webbing and metal hardware as well. There we go. And then I am going to do a full tuck in there so that the raw end, which has already been fray checked, not that you can tell that it's in there because apparently it's so dark. Anyway, it's tucked in there so that it's also going to get stitched down. Okay, now I'm going to put the slider on. I did check to make sure that these worked earlier, and they did, which is awesome because they do not really work with the leather I currently work with. So at least I know I can slide them onto the these guys. Okay, and then so that is there, and then it goes up like this, and then it goes in here like this. Oh, sorry, I'm doing this off camera. What I'm doing right now is I'm just trying to make sure that I don't get anything twisted while I'm making this. Okay, and then I left myself a specific amount of excess. And then we'll fold that back into half as well. Now leather straps will be available later in the summer. Also because I haven't cut down the leather for leather straps yet. So if you're looking for a leather strap, just hang tight and I can definitely get you one of those as well. So this is what will come standard with these Obi bags, but you can always upgrade it once I have, or like swap it out or something. I don't know exactly how to do that when I don't have them available. Okay. Excuse me. The gold one, that's going to be the spare as well. And this is mostly if like someone wants to add it to a kato or something like that, then I actually have a couple straps available. Rather than just being like, sorry, there's no straps. Now, I will say that the polypropylene, although it is the cheaper option, is like definitely got a lot more color options available than the cotton webbings, at least from my supplier. So if these are popular, I can look into getting more colors. But realistically, having just black right now is also a lot easier for my brain because there is no decision making. It is black or nothing. Those are the options. No decisions to make besides hardware, which sometimes is enough work. Okay. This one is a wider mouthed one, which does make it a lot nicer to work with the leather that's thicker. Go. Just making sure I'm not missing any of the chats anywhere. We're all good. We're all good. Oh my goodness, I'm ready to go to sleep. Like, I'm always like, I'm ahead. We're nearly done. And then I do something and it's like, oh no, we've actually got a significant amount of work left to do. Damn it. We just gotta do straps. The straps take 2 hours. Ain't it the way of it though? Oh no, I don't have. Okay, I'm glad I realized that before I sewed it on, but we need to put on the other snap hook. Okay. through. I need to pull it in so that it will actually be at the right length. Yep. And I fold it back and clip it. All right. I think I am at the point where I will probably prep the rest of these. Yeah, I'll definitely get the rest of these prepped before we go pick up the kiddos at least, which is good. I'm like, am I going to prep all of them and then sew them, or am I going to sew them in batches? But no, we're going to prep and then sew them all at once, because mentally that's where I'm at. All right. We should just do a shaka out. Oh, excuse me, have all the bits and bobs, I think. There it is. Okay. It's going to be pretty obvious once I actually go to put them together which ones these match with. Okay, good. I don't know why I stacked them with the bags to begin with. Just making more work for myself. Oh well, here we go. One there, one there. Give them a squish and put them back under the things, because apparently they need a little bit more flattening weight. All right. And I'm going to turn you this way so you can actually see what I'm doing and I don't have to sit in a weird position. I'm going to turn the sewing machine off because, you know my luck, I will put my foot on that pedal or a cat will walk over it like he did the other day and he'll start sewing and suck something in. That's not supposed to. Because you 100% know that that's just how the vibe of today would go. Alright, so we're going to do a realistic recheck in, and I am thinking we'll do the straps. I really want to do those cats, but I don't think that that's a good time investment right now. So I think we'll do some more. I think the bookmarks might be the best option, to be honest. And maybe some coasters. As much as I have not sewn any coasters yet at all. Haven't even hinted that I'm going to do any kind of coaster release. Blah, 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 blah. I think it's still the better time. Because those will be a little bit... Again, I'm trying to look for a few things that are like all different price points. And so these bags are definitely going to be the high end of the price spectrum just because of the work and the material. And those bookmarks are going to be lower spectrum cost, and then the coasters would probably be like a medium cost item. At least that's what I'm thinking in my head. Who knows? I am just rambling. Who knows? Alright. Back to the snap hook. And then back up through the slider. So these are, if you're just joining, these are all adjustable straps that I'm making for the purses that I completed for the kimono market that is this weekend at the Calgary NJCA Center. All the Obi and Kimono are upcycled, and I purchased them at a temple market and secondhand stores in Kyoto. Temple markets and secondhand stores. There we go. If you don't know the spiel, I was an exchange student in Japan back when I was in university, and then when I started making project bags, I very rapidly did end up with a lot of competition in my area, so I went, alright, I want cute cat fabrics anyway. It's hard to find cute cat fabrics in Japan or Canada. And I went, let's lean into see if I can lean into the exchange that I did, and lo and behold, Japan has cute cat fabrics. And then I started importing it originally. But when my husband and I went back for his first trip, I went, let's check on the price of fabric in Japan, because I feel like paying a middleman might not be the most cost effective. And lo and behold, it is not the most cost effective. Granted, the majority of that price, it's like, you got to pay people, right? I'm not quibbling that they are getting more than their due, but a lot of the costs did end up coming from shipping. So it works out more sustainable for me to go to Japan and select everything than it does to actually purchase through a middleman. Because I'm not working in like wholesale quantities and stuff like that, because that's like 15 meters and that's a lot of fabric. The only 15-meter bolts that I have are the pocket fabrics, and even then it's like for a very specific purpose. So yeah, I go back and I purchase fabrics in Tokyo and Kyoto at this point, and then I come back and I make everything in Cochrane, Alberta. I'm just outside Calgary, Alberta. Or if you're more familiar with it, I am like 45-minute drive from Banff, Alberta. So we're right in the foothills of the Rockies. So right now I'm just trying to make sure that we do not twist this strap. Don't twist the strap. Don't twist the strap. Don't twist the strap. And if you're like, why are you wearing a toque, Katie? You're in your house. Because we've already switched our system over to like AC because it's been hot for a few days. And today is not hot. And it is a shock to the system because we had like 25-degree weather, last week? The week before? And it was glorious. But now we're back down to like 8 degrees and rainy. So everything's just a little bit chilly. And I am working in my basement, so like, just chilly to begin with. And I refuse to turn the heat back on unless like the kids get really cold or something like that. And if you're like, Katie, you've already got your AC on. Yes, and it's set to like, I don't know what it is in Celsius right now because our thermometer's not set in Celsius, it's in Fahrenheit. But it's like set to 78, so I think that's like, yeah, it's warm. Just like our heat's set pretty low too, so. Hence the toque. The only time I turn the heat up is if I'm like down here and I cannot feel my fingers basically, and I've done everything else, like extra layers, toques. Can't really do mittens because of the sewing, but yeah, the only times that really happens is like minus 40, so. Which hopefully we don't have again this year. That would suck. It'd be extremely unseasonal. So, and concerning. Okay. More straps, more straps, more straps. Okay. Start here, start here, start here. Also, if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them from the chat. More or less what I do otherwise is I just kind of monologue along and then you guys get to all listen to me. Makes me sound like an egomaniac, but you know what? that is what YouTube is for, I guess. So I stayed up way too late last night, which it's hilarious because it was not actually that late. It was like midnight, which should not be late, but it is right now. But we're also up around 6 usually with the kids, so and actually it's probably my body doing some recovery from all the spin and yoga and everything this month. So and made sure so what I did with because of course my body's going to be using a lot of protein to like repair the muscles and stuff like that from the exercise. And I wasn't like super hungry for lunch before I came down, but I wanted to kind of have something, so I wasn't snacking the whole day either. So what I like to do is do like protein powder in whole milk, because then you get a little bit of carb, you get the protein, and you get the fats of the milk too, so it's really satisfying. But what I did, instead of blending it in a blender bottle, is I blended it with my immersion blender. Because I find that if I just do the blender bottle with a little shaka ball. Apparently that's the what I'm going to use as the hand symbol for the shaka ball. Anyway, the little like blender ball in there, it's still chunky and gross and everything like that. But blending it with the immersion blender meant that it was like frothy and silky, and it was actually really good. So we'll remember that for the future. Like, blend the protein powder with the milk with the immersion blender, because that was delicious. And it like satisfied, like, it wasn't sweet. Like, it was just like the protein powder, I think, might have some sweetener in it. I don't know, it's a chocolate protein powder. That's all I really know about it, is the flavor. The milk obviously is a little bit sweeter. But so it did kind of have the whole vibe of a treat more than a protein powder with globules of protein on top still. Yeah. It's just, I'm picturing it in my head, and it's like when you don't mix hot chocolate like fully or correctly, and you end up with all the chocolate bits on top of the hot chocolate. Yeah, that's what it's like if you don't mix the protein powder correctly. So immersion blenders from now on for it, apparently. Alright, 2.5 straps left, and then I will be sewing the straps, and then I got ahead because it'll be time to pick up the kiddos. So I'll finish doing these. And then, hardware goes on. And we go back through here. I really like this gold hardware actually with this black webbing. It's really nice. This is 1-inch black webbing, or 1-inch cotton webbing. I guess you can see the color. You can't see the actual details of it. I used to do like 1.25 or 1.5 inch. Not when I was actually making crossbody straps, but for tote bags and stuff like that. And then one time I messed up my order, and I ended up with a bunch of 1-inch webbing, and I'm like, okay, what am I going to do now? This was during the pandemic, so it was like curbside pickup and everything. I'm like, I don't really want to return it if I don't have to. And I was converted into 1-inch because it sits on my shoulder nicer, and I have broader shoulders, so I'm like, for narrower shoulders it probably sits on them nicer too and stuff like that. So I went to 1-inch and have never looked back. The other thought process with the cotton webbing is that new Kando pattern, the mini traveler sling thing. The thing is not in that pattern name, but I think it's mini traveler sling, is will work better with cotton webbing as well, because I'll actually be able to sew over it. Hello, Wendy. Welcome in. We're going through and basically just trying to finish up the straps here, and then I will sew them, and then it'll be time to pick up kiddos, because apparently the day got away from me completely this morning. So, and yes, it could be worse, but it is gross. So now that I've found a solution for it, I will stick to that solution of just, it's not even like it takes very long to immersion blend it. It's just like and done. At least with like hot chocolate, it's like very clearly also like they're little clumps of like sweetened chocolate, I guess. I don't think the protein powder is sweetened, or at least if it is, it's not sweetened very much. Talis usually does it in coffee apparently at work, which is okay, but still ends up with some of the same problems. What I really need to figure out a way to do is like more collagen, because apparently it's really good for joint health. But the flavor that I have that's like a mix of all three, that like so you get the most benefits, is like a bone broth flavor, and I didn't think I would mind it, but it's not very good. I've tried it in my coffee, I've tried it in milk. It's just kind of like it's better in the milk than it is in the coffee, I think, mostly because the milk is cold. But I wonder actually if I should just treat it like a soup and like put it in like boiling water and then just, no, because then I'd have to wait for it to like cool back down. That doesn't strike me as a very effective way of doing it. And I've heard mixed reviews of like you shouldn't mix it into hot anyway, because apparently it like breaks down the protein and then you lose all like effectiveness. So I'm like, I don't know what to do. Well, I should just find one that doesn't taste like bone broth, but I was all like, I should be fine. I eat ramen and like bone broth constantly, really, in some ways. But this is just a little bit too much. And I can't drink it in juice or anything either, so it's not like I can even make it like sweet, really. I wonder if I could mix it in beer. But that sounds like an excellent way to make myself throw up. Ugh. Just even the thought of it just turned my stomach. Alright, so we got straps, and then we need to do the rivets on the wallets. They are all sewn though. And then we have to do the snaps on the little kind of cell phone bags that I just completed finally. And then we need to do, I'm debating if I'm going to do some flat bookmarks. I think I'm going to do some flat long bookmarks because they shouldn't take too much. Oh wait, that's a lie. They are going to take that much work because I actually have to open up some of the top stitching and the stitching. So we're there. That just decided what we're doing tonight, but I think I'll come down and I'll actually sew some coasters. Have I ever sewn coasters before? No. Will this be a first? Yes. Are we going to wing it? Kinda. I've been poking around looking at like different coasters and how they're assembled and stuff like that, and I'll do a little bit more poking around before I come back on. Not much. They're pretty straightforward. It's like sew a square onto some batting and then bind them. We were not binding them. I hate binding. So we'll do a backing and then I'll top stitch them with all the scraps I have. I am actually I do this a lot. It's like, oh, I'm like ahead or I'm on track, and then I'm like, these take 2 freaking hours to make. So the factor that I did tidy up my desk a little bit behind me, because I remembered that the webbing needs to be like fray checked before I sew it, which I forgot to do. Like I should have actually cut it and done it yesterday, or even right when I sat down to start sewing, but instead I was like, I'm gonna sew, because I was so excited to sit down with the machine. So yeah, so when I cut the like straps, I was like, oh, I gotta chill for a second and wait for all the freight check to set, or else I'm gonna be dealing with wet cotton webbing. But it worked out because now I've got like a semi-clear desk, so there's that at least. And I did pull up all the like old, so basically the long bookmarks are going to end up getting made from like the small and large box bag handles that I no longer have the small and large box bags to make. There's all the straps ready to sew. Thank goodness. So we're going to run it through so that the snap hooks get done first, and then we'll run it through and we'll do the harder piece second. Should I do? Yeah, okay. Let's do it. So yeah, like it's just stuff that I forget about, and then it's like I think I'm on track, and then I'll realize that I actually have more to do in a few minutes probably. But I do think, well, once all these straps are done, all of the Heidi and the Sheena are ready to go. And then I've got a couple spares as well. I made 2 spares, one in the gunmetal fixings hardware and one in the gold. All right, turn the machine off. And then it's just the wallets that need the rivets, and the little cell phone bags will need snaps. I'm like, what is the word I am looking for there? But it's snaps. All right, so we're gonna do all these snap hooks sides first, because what that does is then I can just chain piece everything together. I'm just doing dual straight lines of stitching because that's going to be very effective at actually supporting the strap and everything like that. I should give, so in the present, like give the collagen supplements to Dallas. Probably. He probably could use them. He beats his body up even more than me because he's training for the marathon right now. So it is kind of funny though, because he's in taper and it's driving him nuts. It's like, dude, yeah, like this is why people always talk about taper being so hard on your head, because it's like if you're running for mental health or anything, you're gonna be like regretting it. I just realized I can actually turn you so you can see what the hell I'm doing over here. There we go. Rather than just staring at my lovely Carhartt brown shoulder. There we go. Anyway, yeah, we're on Friday, so I'm on track. I'll get this done by tomorrow at the latest. I don't want to spend tomorrow working because we've got people coming over, but what I've shuffled to that point is we're going to do more of the kimono keychains. I want to fill all the acrylic keychain things, and then if I am really on the ball, I will actually frame some of the Obi. I think that would be a good one to get done as well. If I'm really on the ball after dinner, I'll get them done tonight, but I'm going to lean into the other makes because I feel like the Obi are going to be fairly straightforward to frame, but I'm just not in like the headspace necessarily to do it. I think it's an excellent idea. I'm super excited about it. I'm just like, let's get the sewing done first. Which means coasters apparently now, so. Yeah, exactly. So it's like I think his longest run in the last few weeks is like 13K or something like that, which it's still a lot. It is not a short distance, but compared to like the 25K he was doing, I think this training actually took him up to 32K. So compared to that, 13K is nothing. So But yeah, it is driving him a bit nuts, and he's like, yeah, the keychains. The keychains I'll do tomorrow because it's like good handwork that I can do when we're sitting around chatting with people, because it's just like cut fabric, insert into keychain. Is it messy? Yes, but I can actually take one of the scrap bins up with me, and I'll just cut over the scrap bin basically. Last one for this half. Yay! Alrighty. It still smells like freight check. Ugh. Gross. I don't even want to know what's in there that smells, to be honest, right now. Probably something absolutely terrible for me. Oh well. And that means that they'll have a couple days to like calm down. Alright, now I think I can just... Oh, that's a very nice... 1 second, I'm going to pause the collab cam. And I'm going to take a photo of that because that is a very nice composition right there. Intermission. Why didn't I just do intermission? Hi. And actually, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to just double check that I'm not getting any child updates that I should be paying attention to. Oops. Look at me. Na, 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 na. No, we're good. Okay, sweet. So we'll go back here. That's not what I actually wanted. We want to be back in here, and then we'll turn the phone again. Are you set up? You are set up in a way that you can see the machine. Perfect. Live scene. No, a little bit more than you need to see. What the heck? There we go. You don't need to be backed out that far. Yeah. Alrighty. So now onto the struggle bus ones where we have to like be fancy. Yeah, because I don't want that to be any further out. It's in the right spot, so we're gonna just... Oh, there we go. Yeah, we can throw it under right there. Okay. So that one is that one done. Now we're on to a gold one. And what we're going to do is we're just going to lift and push. Still less thread than like doing these individually, so as long as I keep them off my mic cable, we'll be good. All right, next, right? Yeah, next one. Actually, I should probably do the chain from the other end, but whatever, we'll be fine. It'll all work out. Go and under. Make sure everything's still lined up like it's supposed to be, and so. So. Good. Good enough. Under. And then it's this one. Oh, it's only 4:15. Okay, so it's like this afternoon just like sped by. And then I looked up and it was basically 4 p.m. and I was like, I'm not going to have much time. And now it is only 4:16. I don't understand. What the heck? Okay, that one's done. Now we go into the gunmetal one. And then the next one is another gold one here. So they're already tangled up, but just so we can mitigate a little bit of the tangling, maybe, I don't know. We'll do our best. I'll do my best. They're totally gonna all be tangled together, whatever. They'll just get cut down and then we'll be fine. There we go. There we go. Up and through. Excuse me. Okay, so that was the gold here. And we got one more gunmetal, two more gunmetals, and one more gold. Okay, sweet. Now they're kind of laid out in order. We should just be able to zoom right through. Hopefully, maybe, who knows. As long as they don't fall off and pull everything with them, we're good. Okay. Pentultimate. Second last. We're almost done. Almost done the straps. Almost done the straps. I don't know why I haven't been stacking them this way. 'Cause I can. And the last one. Yay. Alright, so we're done the major sewing for the event, which is quite a good thing considering that there's still another day, a full day till the event, and all we really need to do is get the rivet press and do the rivets and snaps for the last few products, which is pretty awesome actually. Doesn't mean I can really slow down, but I am a lot closer than I typically am for a lot of events. As evidenced for the event for, what did we do recently? Dawson. By the way, the one thing that did get dropped is I will not be completing the Kato this round. But that's okay. They're mostly because I need to figure out what exactly I'm going to be able to line them with, basically. So that's fine. They can wait for, hopefully I get to do Omatsuri or something like that. The deadline for application was yesterday, so I should be hearing back soon. Because they want insurance certificates by May 31st and payment by May 31st. So I'm like, well, as long as you guys actually notify us with a time to do that, then we can. And I will also hopefully have another bazaar with these folks in November because they host a fall bazaar as well. Last year I missed it because I signed up for an absolutely disastrous event. Well, it wasn't completely disastrous, but it was not what I needed it to be in Cochrane last year. So, learned my lesson there. But I found the date on the website yesterday. I'm like, oh, okay, here's the calendar of events. So that was perfect. Right. Okay, so these need to be trimmed apart here. And then they also need to have, they've got a extra piece of thread across. Oh, actually someone was... Clip. There we go. Done and done. These are going to need to be singed. fire. Keep my fingers out of the way of the fire. That would suck. I'm gonna go digging in my kimono box and see what I have left for holiday and stuff like that, because I was like, they do have the kimono dressing on Sunday for everyone, but I don't really, sounds terrible, but I don't want to get dressed up in a kimono on Sunday. And so I was like, but I could go and like get my holiday out and wear. So that's basically the jacket that goes over top of a kimono. See, I just need to dig through the bin of glory. I don't know what to call it. I'm like, then that sounds very naughty, and it's not intended that way. Glory bin. Anyway. Bin of treasures. The treasure chest. That tells, nope, never mind. The Obi bin and the kimono bin. But I know for sure I've still got like a jacket in there. And if not, then I'll wear that purple one that I've like haven't cut into yet. That I'm like, this is almost too pretty. Or it needs to be special. Actually, I think I know what I'm going to do with that one. There's a style that I saw when I was there in Kyoto last May. And then the actual style wandered across my YouTube suggested videos later in the summer. And I'm like, that's the bag. So I think I know what I'm going to do with it. I just got to make sure that it's like the bag format is large enough, really. Okay, I'm going to snug these right up because that just makes them easier to transport. It makes the bags easier to transport, all of that. Yeah. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to wrap on these, the making of these, and then we're going to go get the kids. And then I will be back on once we are, and fairly rapidly after that, because we'll have dinner while we're driving, because it's May long weekend here, or Victoria Day. And I don't know what the traffic is going to be like, because they've been doing a ton of construction, which they've been doing for a bit. But the difference this year is that they've put the like truck cross lanes over top of like where we're supposed to drive. And it's been holding up traffic, and I don't know if they're actually working tonight or what. The other thing is because they keep having to postpone the line repainting. The traffic circle is a nightmare anyway. And it's the May long weekend with a bunch of people who may or may not know how to actually drive this traffic circle. So it's like, And sometimes that is how it is going through the traffic circle. I scream. Oh. sure that thread that I just threw 100% did not end up in the actual thread catcher. I'm throwing them in the general direction of the thread catcher, at least. Okay, so a rundown of what is after this. After this, I will be set up to do rivets. I think I will actually just move the rivet press over to this desk here, even though it's still a little bit of a mess. Yeah, so part of what I talked about earlier. Yes, a roundabout or a traffic circle are the same thing. And we do not have a lot of roundabouts or traffic circles in Alberta. They're coming back into vogue again because it's been discovered that they're a lot safer than like four-way stops, and they are a lot faster, at least in Cochrane, than traffic lights. So yeah, so the rundown when I come back, we'll do the rivets and the snap for those couple little vendor bags. I think I'm just gonna call them vendor bags, and then it's like, or cell phone bag. What should I call them? I don't know. It's not like they're going online yet anyway, so I can figure that out later. And then I think we'll work on some coasters, because I think that would be a good option. And if I am feeling sassy, we'll do some bookmarks. Actually, if I'm not feeling too tired, we'll do some bookmarks as well. And the bookmarks are they're almost ready, but they need a little bit of TLC. Because they're already sewn basically as handles for large and small box bags, and now they're no longer becoming handles for large and small box bags. So, you know. That seems like cruel and unusual punishment. I did just order a part for my vacuum though, so that I can hopefully tidy up a little bit next week and vacuum this carpet, because oh boy, is it gonna need some TLC. It's okay, we're gonna replace. We didn't even like get this carpet cleaned when we moved in, because we were gonna replace it instantly with like laminate or vinyl or something, and we're still planning to do that here in the next couple of years. I like the carpet, but it is a pain in the butt, and it's also a pain in the butt to clean when the cats gack on it too. So. Because seriously, I did already. Oh, the pins. The pins are terrifying. Yeah, I already like cleaned this carpet this year, and it's already like you can't even tell. So I probably should tidy up enough to be able to clean it again, because it is a high traffic area, but I probably won't. I do want to get this studio past the functional tidy this round, but we'll see if that happens. June, beginning of June especially, we'll be working on Kato, and I am going to work towards having a shop update in June as well. Blah, blah, blah. I am done at the straps, so I am going to... Yeah, that is a natural stopping point right now. So I'm going to head out so that we can go get kiddos in a little bit. And I am going to measure this wall behind me, because I have crazy ideas about what I want to do with it now that I'm actually thinking about what I want to do with it. Anyway, I hope you guys all have a good few hours. Go have a break. Get a drink of your choice. We got a nice stack of straps right here. We got a nice stack of Heidi bags over here. That's them getting a nice weighted finish, so that they're not so curly on the like zipper thing. And I should be back by around, it's 4:30, so I'm gonna say like 6:30 at the latest.